Holy fuck, dude. This production team sucks.
I know. I don't know if it's production team or if it's, the building.
You gotta act like you're just
Speed it up back there.
Building's not up to code.
You mentioned the Athenaeum. I mean, even from what I've seen in the Crystal Pillar, that has been locked off for some time. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't curious and excited to see what was in there. But if you say it was all burnt...
It was all burned. Besides, in the center, there was a statue of... What's his name?
Wolfwind Wixius.
Wolfwind Wixius. And when one of my party members decided to touch the crystal in his hand, that there was a book sunk into it with magic. And it sucked us
Did it look like a spell book?
Yeah, I'd say it looked like a tome.
That was Wixius' spellbook himself.
When magic was put onto this spellbook, it transferred us, I would say, to a different realm. We met with Wixius.
What?
To him, a day has not passed since he had left.
Wait. You spoke with the Arcanist.
We spoke, yes, with Wixius, whatever his name is.
Wolfwind
Wixius.
Was his mustache as magnificent as I imagined?
Can I roll for memory?
Yes, it was.
Roll for Alzheimer's?
Yes, I suppose it wasn't on my mind when talking to him, but yes.
Was he an illusion?
He was as real as you and me standing next to him. I believe it was some time dimension of his own where to him, not a day has passed, but on the outside world, hundreds of years have.
That is powerful magic. Beyond that of our father.
I'm wishing he was on our side right now, to be honest. With what we have seen, I don't see an outcome that bodes well for anyone in the Zephyrian Empire.
If I didn't grow up with you, being where I came from, the way it has been in Cloudhaven and on the Crystal Pillar itself, I wouldn't be lying if my environment pressed upon me and persuaded me to believe that these are rumors. However, I did have I did have my doubts from your letters, but I knew I had to meet you face to face, and seeing the look in your eye when you mention these things, I believe you.
I think there's one more thing. I don't know if you can do anything with this, but this undead army, they seem to be after these artifacts. And I'm going to slowly take out the daggers and show them to her. Please,
she refrains, doesn't want to touch them.
Please do not touch the party members who have been grasped by terrible hallucinations where this Death Knight that we fought even can come to them in their dreams.
A Death Knight?
In New Wheat's Cross, there was a Death Knight trying to get one of these. And he killed one of our party members. Luckily, Priestess Allura was there who helped us bring him back to life, but we could not touch this guy. We're lucky to have any of our lives, and to have these keep them away. I know these are important, sister. When we went to Valewood, we saw the father's tetrad of the stories underneath Dipshit. Sorry, I forget Dipshit's name.
You'll figure it
Theovar. The father's tetrad that used to serve Theovar.
I think I might have read about them in a book.
Yeah, warriors of old. Theovar told us to seek them out, and sure, we have, and they were guarding another one of these, and I'll point to which one they were guarding. And not as soon as we got this, a Draculich from New Wheat's Cross came and tried to take this and kill us all. Again, I am shocked to say we got out with our lives. I don't know why we have these, but I know the undead army cannot get them.
May I? And she goes to cast a spell on them.
If you would try.
You can see her kind of wave her hands over. Takes a little bit of a moment, kind of closes her eyes. These are dark.
Yes.
This is dark magic.
This has to do with, what's the visions they had where they saw the one guy? The alchemist? No.
Savras?
Is it Savras?
Yeah.
I'll speak of Savras, because she's probably heard of Savras.
As soon as you say that, she kind of sits back.
So my party members had visions of Savras with these when they've touched them, and see things from ancient past, or at least I do hope. It's from the it's dark. I don't know what it is, but it is dark.
I'm not sure what to make of all this, but there's some lines that must connect. I don't know if I mentioned in any of our letters or not, but I have, from what research I have done and what little I have found, in the Crystal Pillar itself, obviously this is home where the Wardens of Ikron were created after Ikron, and I was reading of these times back when Ikron was alive, and these arcanists who used to be professors. Savras was one of those professors. This vision you speak of in this alchemy lab, he was with Odbert Peflin. He was another arcanist, and they were both teachers. Savras himself, like I said, most of it has been redacted. It's like trying to read a book with every other page missing. It seems like Savras was a bit too curious. He was delving into necromancy, and when you say necromancy, like as up in the pillar now, it's not to be an evil thing, but it is one of the 8 schools of magic. It should be celebrated and learned of, just like the other ones: divination, conjuration, all of it, evocation, anything. But this Savras Evron figure was, weirdly, his name is the same as our divination god, Savras. But he seems off, and Ikron himself didn't trust him. Make of that what you will.
How long ago was he at the academy?
Before the defendants.
Do you know, with the necromancy, I don't think I've told you this, with him being curious, do you know if he could have done anything? Because I've told you of this Death Knight and the Draculich, but in these other visions, I don't know much about necromancy myself, but a green skull has appeared that seems to be the driving force behind this undead.
Skull with green fire.
With green fire.
I don't know what trouble you've been into, brother. I can't make of that.
You see, with all what I'm saying though, there's something going on that people are lying about. People aren't saying it's fake. Like even you, being a genius, an outstanding person, sister, you couldn't make right or wrong about what rumors have come. Someone is doing this, and I talked to you about these daggers. I know you know.
Please put them away.
I'm gonna put them away. I know you know I don't always be up to most good, and I did have good reasons, but I was talking to the lowlife skipper of the Black Rock Foundry.
I don't know.
Does she know the Syndicate at all?
Are you talking about the crystal?
The skipper, the Green Goblin.
What is like scalpel or something?
And he, anyways, he is
The Blacktop Syndicate.
Blacktop Syndicate.
That's what it is.
He, you know, they're shady, they're dark. He's not a good person by any means, but he asked us to retrieve a scalpel from Giovanni Pengrove. This cannot be a coincidence. How he described the scalpel is the exact same as these daggers. And why does Giovanni Pengrove have this dagger that the undead is after? Why did he take it? I say again, sister, we must be careful. I believe Giovanni Pengrove and his wife are up to no good.
I wouldn't doubt it. From what I speak to Father, have you spoke to him?
I have not.
Well, from what little I speak to him, us both being busy, he really only writes to me to ask me about the results of my trials, and after our graduation I'll be headed off to Gildavane. But from what little he talks to me, it seems he doesn't seem at home here. The council itself doesn't seem the same as it used to, at least when we were little. As to Giovanni, I have never spoke to him. couldn't make sense of any of that.
I don't know if I can do it myself, sister. It's been a while since I've came home. I think if you're fine with it, would you be willing to speak to Father with me? I think we need guidance. With what I've told you, I can't come with rhyme or reason what to do.
Well, our Father is wise. However you may see him, he does know best, and I think it would be best if you spoke to him yourself. It's been a long time coming, and although he may not show it, he does love you. Plus, I will be off first thing in the morning anyways. But, from what it sounds like, you are getting into very, very much more dangerous stuff than I thought you were. So you might need these to protect yourself. She kind of pulls out a little bundle of what looks like to be a pack of playing cards. And as of the gold, I can only spare 200 myself. She goes to hand you a pouch.
Is this a joke about like reading a book with half its pages? Have you looked at this?
Yeah, my printer was fucking trust me, my fucking notes, half the lines are fucking gone.
What happened?
It's like reading a book with half the pages gone.
Oh, that's easy. Are you kidding me?
When will you be back, sister? Where are you going?
Well, I will be first thing in the morning, 3 days' time, where our graduation will be held at noon that day. Here.
Where are you going for the time being?
Back to my studies, Cloudhaven.
At least it'll be safe there. Please be careful with who you talk to, and please help me in any way you can. I don't know what to do, sister. I'm at a loss. This undead army is coming. The last we saw of it when we were in Gemdril, they were closing in, and we were able to make it. Alfred Wixius teleported us to Valewood, and we were able to make it here. And then we went. Fuck, where did we go after that? Oh, then we went to Marrow Bluff, and then we teleported here. That is not something that happens within a day. I don't know how close this impending threat could be. I don't know if 3 days will bring disaster.
Well, from what you've written to me, it seems that this impending doom seems to be moving rather quickly. If you say you come from Gemdril, I can't imagine they're far behind.
No.
But before we depart, there is the one thing that I wrote to you about. I'm not sure if it's anything, but you may look into it if you wish. The woman in Ttrpg.
Could you remind me, sister, about the woman in Ttrpg?
See, there's been so many things going on.
It's been so many weeks.
So many women.
From, what research I could do back home at Cloudhaven, and obviously I can't speak to much people, as they're all new faith up there, and I have to keep a tight lip. Speaking of which, you guys being here should also do the same. When you go to speak to Father, I would keep a tight lip about being old faith around here. You can also may ask him for more money. But from what I've read, I found something that I don't think, from whoever is removing this information, I don't know if they passed over it or if it was not of significance to them, but in Ttrpg there was a letter of the Reeve of Ttrpg, and they used to speak of a man and a woman who used to live there. This man being part of the shepherds himself, the shepherds of Stronghold and Petu, as you know. He went missing, and for some years after, this lady of sorts has turned old. She's still alive, that I know of, and she keeps to herself up in a little hobble of sorts up north the mountain of Ttrpg. As you can read my letter, I had more information in there, but look into it if you wish. I'm not sure if there's anything, but from what I've looked into, that's the only thing I could find.
I don't, with not being in the capital for so long, means of transportation, I don't know what the state is. Is that something where someone like me could get to Gildavane through teleportation, or is that something...
Well, when you say teleport, are you the one doing the teleporting?
I would not be. We have a wizard in our party, but I know he's never been that far west. And do you have any recommendations of how we could get to Tribook, being that's how many day ride from here?
Yeah, you'd have to go through the mountains too.
Yeah, that's a long ride.
It's a while.
Do you have any means of getting there that you think that might work with us and the wizard in my party?
Can we just take the teleport?
Does this wizard friend of yours, does he have arcane prowess?
Does my wizard friend have arcane prowess?
Does his wizard friend have arcane prowess?
That's what I'm asking you.
Does my wizard friend have arcane prowess?
He has arcane prowess.
It's
that
not
a
like a
spell?
thing.
It's
just
like
I just have like. Do I have that aura? Yeah, I have that aura.
You know,
Is your friend that guy?
Yeah. He's that guy.
Would you
He
refer
does
to
not-
him as Himothy?
he does not look like that guy, but my friend is more than capable if given means.
Well, if you were teleported from Merrill Bluff to the capital, I think you would manage. Making it to Trevor.
Is there a teleportation circle in Tribe?
I don't know.
We could only come here because of the teleportation. I do apologize, sister. You know me, and I wasn't always the best at magical means.
Well, this is a big city, and I'm sure you can find a means of finding a way to get there.
Okay, I'll stop trying. Well, sister, if things do happen here, we need a plan. Where will you be? Where will you go if something does come for here? Over hell and high water, I will come for you.
I will be at Cloudhaven, and then
For
after
the next 3 days.
after the graduation, I'm not sure when, but I do have a residence in Gildavane, and I will have to find a more permanent place there.
For how long is the graduation? Is that only 1 day
Yeah.
that she's gonna be here?
Yeah, it's just a little celebration, like a parade.
On the off chance they come while you're back here, I say we do our best to meet with Father. If I can't make it, please still go there. If they don't come while you're here, it'll bring me great joy to know that you're safe.
You as well. Keep writing, and I'll see you at the celebration.
I'm gonna hug her.
Yeah, she hugs you,
I'm not
gives
gonna
you a
let
kiss
go.
on your cheek.
I'm not gonna let. I'm just gonna. I'm holding on a little too
Yeah,
long
she
because I'm
holds you
scared.
too. Please speak with Father. You both need it.
I'll do my best. It's been too long, sister. Please be safe.
I'll see you again.
I sure hope.
And she kind of like backs up, puts her hood up. She kind of like slowly keeps looking at you before she turns. Goes to walk off.
Did I do anything else as a child in the area?
No, you kind of pretty much just stuck up in Halcyon Plaza. You'd play in the pools there, but then your dad would like yell at you until you get out.
Have I ever known of any bars kind of in the area that are kind of like a spot that I would have gone to?
You would have stopped at the Blue Boar.
Are there any other bars I would have stopped at? Are there like any shady bars that were kind of like my jam? That's like off the beaten path. That's like you go to those bars where they're just kind of sketchy as hell nowadays.
Yeah.
If not, that's fine. I'll go to Blue Boar.
The only ones that you would have gone to were with your father when you were here, because while you were here, you kind of it was like the uppity ups, pretentious stuff. But then when you decided to leave, you were at that time too young to drink anyways.
Yeah. Right.
So then you kind of started getting into that after you left.
I will. Are there any scenic places that I could look out over the canal?
Yeah, you could get up the wall onto like the border of Halcyon Plaza and just look over the White
My
Cat
goal
Bazaar.
basically is to get to where I can like stare out into nothingness, like over the water, and dangle my feet over the edge and just have a moment.
Yeah, you kind of climb up. There's a spot that you know of that you can climb up this wall.
I'm also going to cast invisibility on myself because I don't want to talk to anyone right now.
You kind of climb up. And
Saltiness.
There's a fence atop that leads before you get to Helkian Plaza, but you kind of sit and perch up there, and you can get a good view of the huge main canal that goes through into the bay off to the right, the slip skids, just darkness beyond, and the entire middle of the city with Helkian Plaza on the left, just towering over. And it really is a beautiful sight. It is raining, but you do feel it's weird. You're conflicted because you do feel some sense of home, but then there's also like a wall, like in your heart, that you like almost like don't want to be here. Like you almost feel itchy. But you know what I mean? It's like a 50-50, but then you also feel home, but you don't feel welcome.
I'd like to sit there for a few, and as I'm sitting there, I'm contemplating if there's any way possible for my knowledge for me to infiltrate where my dad is, basically to go talk to him sneakily tonight.
Yeah, you kind of sit there and take a moment to yourself. The rain now, you can feel the wetness kind of getting through your leather. The only thing you can think of is going to be in his office, in his quarters.
Which is probably pretty high up.
It is where where you teleported into in that main town hall. And the mirror side of that mini courtyard inside is where his quarters are.
From my knowledge of the city, is that something where there's going to be magical means that would like block my invisibility because it's a high top district, or is it something?
Not that building itself, but in his quarters, yes. And as you're sitting there contemplating this, you don't know if you're imagining it or not, but you swear you see a purple flicker way off in the distance of lightning, storm.
Am I facing north or south?
You are facing east.
Doesn't the canal go north and south?
Yeah, but you're on the wall.
Yeah. So I'm facing like Citadel
canal's
Structar,
going
the heart
left
of the
to right.
east. Okay. And I see it straight ahead of me to the east?
You're not sure, but somewhere here.
What?
But you're not sure if you're imagining it. It is raining. You're not even sure if you can see that far.
I'm gonna sit there for a few moments longer and see if I see anything. I'm zoned out. Honestly, I'm just zoned out.
You don't see it again.
I'll contemplate and go seeing my father, decide I just am not ready yet. And I'm probably gonna... I've heard of the Blue Boar. You brought it up, so it makes sense that I'd go there. I'm not metaing. It's just you brought it up that I would know it. And I'll probably head my way... I'm gonna head my way over to the Blue Boar.
Well, you said you needed a refill. If you want some more pepper flakes, here you go.
Yeah, for some reason these are hitting substantially harder than what I'm used to.
Yeah, everybody give me a Constitution saving throw.
Anyone want to pop?
No, I'm good, thank you.
Do you want one shape?
I got pop here. You guys want one?
Oh shit, sure.
What do you got? Squirt.
Sam loves squirting.
I think I'm actually good. I think when I drink pop during these sessions, it like just fucking drains me. So
He's allergic to pop.
Saving throw? 20. Dirty 20.
Oh shit.
You're fine. You're drunk.
+4 on saving throws, gentlemen.
You're almost drunk.
17.
You are not drunk yet. What? I can keep them coming.
Oh, like shake off the...
Chug, show us fire. Chug. And I'm not relenting. Chug.
All right, you know, make that 2.
Alright.
I'll throw him 6 silver, and then I'll go, well, let's see how big of a breath this one makes, and then I'll chug both of them at the same time.
Yeah, you're drunk.
Hell yeah. How big of a fire does it make?
Yeah, you down them both.
And I try to mix some ice in there with it as well, so
Yeah,
it's like to
sizzle it
see
out.
if anybody in bar goes,
It does hit the chandelier above. You can see kind of some ambers going. You can see that bushy underbite guy in the corner going, whoa! And then the barkeep, as he keeps bringing him over, he goes, "Sorry, I don't mean to pry, friend. I noticed your armor. Are you a shepherd?"
Depends. Like being a little tipsy, I'll be like, "Why are you the god or something looking for me? Why are you asking?"
"No, I'm a #1 fan." And he lifts up his arm. You can see he has a tattoo of your scripts on the same spot.
Wow, looking to be a future shepherd, are you?
Are you one? Or are you not?
I'll have you know I am. I am Shepherd
How did
Caladan. Caladan Northlight. As I'll shake it off. It's a pleasure to meet you, sir. What's your name?
Gentlemen, you are in the presence of a god.
And I'll extend the arm again, classic. And
Name's Faramir.
Faramir.
So have you met Theobar?
Matter of fact, he might have trained me and taught me all I know.
Oh, I could talk to you for hours. Do you guys mind if I talk to him for hours?
Well, I might interject by saying we have somebody who's meeting us here, and we're trying to...
I won't pry.
Well, matter of fact, maybe, just to let you in, we're trying to keep this on the down low a little bit. So, maybe as a favor of a shepherd, would you mind maybe keeping a watchful eye out for us while we're here?
Oh, absolutely. Hey, everybody get the fuck out! He kind of yells and everybody kind of... What? I won't say it twice. Get out! All of them kind of chairs step out.
I'll be respectful to them as they leave. I'll be like...
They down their drinks before they lay them down. He's like, "Don't worry about paying. Everything's on the house. Get out!" And they all leave. He kind of walks up to the front door, locks it. Walks out to the bar.
I'll turn around back to you guys.
Over at Caladan.
Two empty mugs will be like, "Well, I don't think we have to worry about being discreet anymore."
Well, I mean, probably shouldn't let this guy know everything also.
Well, I just told him maybe he could just make sure, since he's, used to the area, that nobody would be, or if anybody's listening, but I didn't know that would result in kicking every warm body out of the bar.
Yeah, he's a good 40 feet over, kind of picking up the tables, cleaning them up.
Is he just constantly
goes
just
back to behind the bar
at
room? No, he's not staring, but you can kind of, you're just watching him, you can hear him, "Fucking shepherd," kind of walks back. As he walks into the back bar room, he kind of pauses, backs up a little bit. You can see the picture of Theobar. He kind of straightens it.
And what is this guy's name?
Faramir.
Faramir. Okay. How you feeling, Benedict? You look like you're,
Ready to go kick some rocks.
You look like you're, been feeling it a little bit here.
It's kind of starting to kick in, I think by my next one, I'll probably start feeling
I
it.
think I got a dud badge on this. I don't feel anything.
Might have to try what Caladan was drinking.
You know what? That sounds like
it
a great
really
idea.
warms you up. I'll burp sparks. It really warms the belly.
I'll go up to the barkeep and...
Yeah, anything you need.
Yeah, can I get what Caladan got?
Some fire flakes.
Yeah.
There you go.
Awesome.
Thank you. Another one for him?
Oh, sure. He could use some more.
There you are.
Oh, okay.
Grab two, walk over.
Break it up again.
Be like, "Well,
This one's for you, I guess.
more?
Yep.
Okay." I'll sip on it.
Now I'll start taking bigger swigs.
I'll see you drinking. I'll be like, "Big swigs down the whole thing and see how much of a flame you can produce over there."
I'll down it. I am resistant to fire. I don't know if that makes a difference with the drink.
No, you drink it and same thing. When you give a burp, a little bit of flame.
I'll cheer as he does it, slap him on the back.
That was gonna be a lot warmer.
Dragon's breath.
It's spicy too. It starts to burn your throat the more you drink.
Imagine it's like Fireball.
But you're fine because you're a white dragonborn.
So does it just affect me less
Jan
than
starts
a normal person?
visibly sweating. Just
Actually, you'd probably be fine too.
That's what I was thinking. I was like,
right, yeah.
I was like, I'm a tiefling, but I don't know if that just means I'm not as. But so
do you rejoin at the blue bar? The blue bar?
Well, the door's locked, isn't it?
Yeah, you can knock though.
I'm not fucking knocking.
You're not knocking?
Why the hell would I knock on a closed
You
bar?
can see your companions.
Okay, I was gonna say,
Lights are on,
met a
windows,
dog.
you can see us. It's just...
There, I can clearly see them through the window walking up.
Yeah.
Do they?
They're sitting by a window.
No, we're sitting in the dark, Ben.
I mean,
I don't want to
your
bet 'em.
companions.
He already told you
I'm
you
gonna-
can see us.
I'm gonna.
Dude,
That's
what do you want?
so meta. It seems, you guys told me you picked a dark fucking closed off corner.
You
of
don't
the
know
bar.
that.
I know, but that's my point.
He said you could.
Yeah,
So
but
why
we're
the
next
hell
to
would
a
I
window,
see?
And then the
though. We're next to a
DM just
window.
told you
The
you
door
can visibly
opens.
see
You
your
can see
companions.
an orc with a ponytail. We're closed.
I see a few of my companions.
Oh.
over there.
Sorry, sir. This just so happens to be the one friend we were waiting for.
Come in.
I'm gonna size up this guy. What does he look like?
He's about 7 feet tall, pretty muscular. He's a pale orc, has some pink splotches around, but he has a ponytail. Kind of, he looks like a giant teddy bear. His
As he
aura.
lets me in, I'm going to give him a gold and say, "Please bring me the strongest thing you possibly have."
Oh, they're coming right up.
Do I hear this?
Locks the door. Goes to walk over. If you want.
I was gonna say, give him the good stuff, and I like point to like the drink I was holding.
I'll just hold up my mug and I'll be like, well, it's good to burp out some smoke. See you back in one piece, Ace.
Welcome back,
You,
Ace.
Good meeting.
something wrong? Or maybe my guts...
What's not wrong?
I'll drink to that.
Slides you a chunky, almost red sloshy drink.
I will grimace at looking at this.
Is it the same? Is it like
Yeah.
How does it taste? Like, obviously it's
Like-
spicy and stuff, but like,
Not dissimilar from what you had in Fogsfield. Some dirty mead.
good
Dirt
stuff.
mead, but almost like there's pepper flakes in it.
Yeah, I almost imagine it's like a spicy like fireball, but then also it like cracks in your mouth like pop rocks. You know what I mean? That's what I thought it was, like firecracker or whatever it's called.
It's better than it looks.
It's on the house.
You of all people should know looks can be a little deceiving. And I'll like smack your mug and I'll take a drink.
I'll drink some.
Yeah.
Not chugging. I think, and I'll set it down. We need to figure out a plan. Ever since we've come to Basin Port, feel like we have done is done an errand for a beholder that gets us no closer to solving a problem. We're on an errand for a fucking goblin. No closer. I guess that one's semi.
Yeah, I was gonna say no.
But we need to do something.
Here's the thing, Ace, right? So, we agreed to this mission with the beholder.
Who gives a fuck?
No. Let me. Which led us to that goblin, which led us to the next dagger. Which in all of this is kind of our goal. So even if we don't finish it, we still got information out of accepting it. But I don't know
What have
if
we done to combat what is coming? We were in Gemdrill how many days ago?
3.
3 days ago. We've been all the fuck over and we made our way to Basinport. Who says that army ain't gonna be at our doorsteps in the middle of the night tonight?
Well, I think at this point, with how everybody has believed our stories, I'm going to leave it up to Basinport to be able to...
Basinport with the main leader, at least 2 if not 3 or 4 of the main leaders of Basinport clearly are evil? We're gonna leave it up to Basinport?
I'll like put my mug down, like... So what would you...
That's what the fuck I'm saying. I don't know what the fuck we're gonna do, Caladan.
how far is 1 mile, like on the map?
I'm just trying to get it because Ace is
To, like,
lost
the
and
bridge?
confused. He
Yeah,
doesn't know
no.
what the hell to do.
Oh, I get it.
Okay.
It's a fucking problem.
Okay.
A little smaller than that. Like, fucking half the width of my pinky.
Oh, like you're not even saying like
That's pretty big, dog.
that's not like where you're pointing isn't like
Do we know how far a day's
That's a
travel
mile.
is from
oh
Gamdrill to Basinport?
okay.
Yeah, that's like a 3-4 day travel.
I have a spell that's got a 1 mile range. That's why I was curious.
3-4 day. How
They're
long have
probably
we been?
pulling up tomorrow.
Yeah. If not tonight,
They also don't have
from
to
what
see-
you've seen in the distance.
I would assume.
But it's also army pace, not
Yeah, they're
horseback
also
pace.
slower.
But an undead army pace that never has to stop.
True. So
But
it
if they're
balances out.
meandering,
They are probably destroying everything in their path too, so that slows them down.
Well,
Unfortunately.
I just wonder how many thousands got to die before Theobar decides now is the time to take action.
So what if we
It's
say?
a lot more than Theovar.
So, what if we say screw the beholder, that deal, and we just go straight to the council? We don't have good options.
When's that ball again that we were invited to?
Is that tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, we have two options here. One is we try to make some plan, some half-baked plan that we know nothing about the Pengroves besides who they are. We know the terrain of the capital, but what the hell are we going to do to the Pengrove? I've never been to his private quarters. Like, what are we going to do when we get there? And are we going to wait till tomorrow? Or is tomorrow too late?
Well, I guess me personally, I don't care at this point what time of the day is, who in regards that we're talking to. We need to take some action or have somebody on our side willing to help us take some action.
I feel like we haven't met anyone. Like, the Beholder says, yeah, we'll help you after you help me. I don't think we got the time. Like, everyone here, it's just...
I do agree with that.
It's just everyone
I
wants
hate
to do
to,
their
like-
own thing, their own prerogatives. Well, guess what? We should all have the same one. Death is fucking coming.
Okay.
I apologize for lashing.
No,
I don't know
you-
what to do. I'm at a
You're
loss.
making great points.
How early?
It's one of those things where I think that unless you see it for yourself, the weight of the situation truly will never settle in their hearts. Greed.
they don't want to believe.
They don't want to believe something that would take what they feel is important away from their life. Greed to the beholder, information.
Did we find anything out at the meeting you guys went to?
Hold on, I gotta read. They can pipe in, but
We found out that 3 of the 5 are
who's
bad.
the Eldath Accord again?
The Eldath Accords, they are a treaty that is trying to be voted in.
To help
To-
wean out the monarch minority?
Correct. So they want to not get rid of the council, but essentially elect new leaders from different regions of the empire to essentially replace the council.
Does the council, like,
Do they
what
wanna
I
replace
imagine,
them?
like, this, like, let's say the Senate or something, like, they've been there for years
Yeah,
and
so
years,
the
and
council,
it's the same,
ever
you know
since
what I mean?
ever
Or-
since the defendants, the council has been a thing.
The members don't change often.
Yeah, I guess that's
Because my parent, his parent have been there for how many years?
Correct. Maybe last change. The most recent was Doldrin Dawnward as of like a decade ago.
See, that's the. I'll think about it and I'll be like, that's the leery thing about this whole situation, is it not? Every person in a position of power that we have talked to, I can almost say with uttermost certainty, they know exactly what's coming here and what's happening. It makes me think this ball or whatever that's going on.
Is dangerous. I mean, what are the fucking coincidence? What are the odds that Giovanni Pengrove, someone who we believe to be evil, who was with Pastovish Kraka, has what we believe is a dagger from the goblin? What are the odds that he has now invited us to a ball at the same time? How does he know we're in town? How does he know, like, what are the odds of this
Who's
going well?
planned on being at the ball? Is it the higher
Just
up?
like a summer ball, isn't it?
You don't really know.
It's
From
not.
things in the past, I'm sure we've seen this ball. It's not a one-shot ball, is it?
Just Helkian Plaza people, council, their friends, their
Okay.
family.
Is it
So-
a festival?
No, just a ball. Just
So,
Helkian Plaza stuff.
What if, hear me out, this whole ball thing is a way to protect the elites as the invasion comes in? Because if the whole council is going to be there,
From what you guys have explained to me, which you haven't, but I remember from the other thing, are 3 of the 5 council members deemed to be bad? Why would they be protecting 2 that are not with them? One, which was
because
being
the
my
two
father.
maybe hold the other end of
There may be stuff
they
that
might
they
just-
still need.
They
from
might just be
those.
ignorant to the whole situation. Just think, hey, cool ball. Time to let off a little steam. Next thing you know, this could be just stretching, just throwing ideas out there. But also, if we wanted to get information, Ace, tomorrow morning we can both go talk to our fathers.
I think we got it.
Regardless of what happens, we need to talk to them.
Did you come up with a plan for
Yeah.
what you're gonna do?
But I also
can't remember,
kinda just
Ben.
wanna
Is
be
your
honest with
dad
him.
on the council.
I kind of just want to be honest with him.
Are they?
Just
So we don't know. We don't know
see if I
about-
can get like any insight on it without even having to lie.
It's your father. I don't know your relationship. If that's what you deem best, that is your decision.
So it's safe to
Sure.
assume that your father would presumably be on our side of this situation.
My father is a good man. I'm sure yours is too, Chad.
Mine's just driven by money, so
Mine is he's
if there's
driven
money
by
involved, it's easily corruptible.
intelligence. I'd say I talked to my sister tonight,
The fuck was that?
It's dying.
and
Amber
the
Lord?
one word we would use to describe my father is wise. If anyone may know more than we don't know, it may be him.
I do know if we can get my father on our side, he's very persuasive. I mean, you don't accrue a bunch of money
Maybe
without
we
being able
hold
to
a
talk.
meeting with both of your fathers,
That perhaps.
and maybe your father.
Do you still have some force over truth and lie?
Yes.
Is this something where we could form a meeting and
The thing about this magic is, though, knowing your father.
my father is a good, I believe he's on our side. He would condone it. He would be fine. He would submit.
But let's just say he's not.
Well, we got a bigger problem on our hands if one of the greatest wardens of our time is not on our side.
That is true.
Maybe we do that. Maybe we hold a meeting. Because
a
you're
a homecoming of sorts of Chad Lemieux and Astramethian Helgilius looking to see our fathers. I don't think that could be construed too much out of the
and
ordinary.
maybe it would be significant enough.
Would
Seeing
you-
as to you haven't seen your fathers well enough, maybe they would understand the haste of the matter.
Where would we want this meeting to be?
Or not haste,
I believe
importance.
my father's study may be the best, being we have the most confidence in him being on the side of us. I believe, and that my father does have the power. I don't think it's unworldly to have him ask for your father to come to his meeting room.
I wouldn't think it would be that crazy.
No,
Does your father have means of magic to be able to spy on somebody?
I have means of magic.
my father's means of magic.
but-
Because the also thing we have to consider is if Chad's father is an informant for the New Faith, essentially, right? Or the whole corrupt side of it. We could just be
Spy on
Giving.
him after he leaves the meeting and see what he does, just to be sure.
or to make sure, that he's not going to just willingly hand over that, one of the strongest wardens.
Just got tipped off.
Maybe it is a meeting we should
Do I know
keep
how
separate
powerful
for the
my father
time
is?
being.
Like, in his
But at the
abilities?
same time, how much time do we have?
Like physical power?
like
Chad,
like, as far as I know,
talk
he's
to
a
his
bard,
father
right?
and get to the bottom of the situation.
He's a normie.
You could
He's
always
just a
go
normal
with
guy?
him.
Oh,
As a shepherd, you hold much renown.
I don't hold much renown in these parts. And that's the reality of that.
I know somebody who would
I am
say
in a
differently.
capital
Look
of
up at
godless
the bar.
heathens, and I'll finally say my distaste about the how it feels being in Basinport. I don't think me being a shepherd proves my loyalty to my oath. I don't think other than that people respect me, other than the, and I'll point to the barkeep, as I imagine he's looking at the sign.
You look over, he's
just polishing the
But
glass.
that could just be the liquor talking. I'll take another sip.
Also, a thing I found out tonight is it's not enforced over here, but supposedly the whole city is under a 6 p.m. curfew. Started a week and a half or two ago. No mere coincidence what was happening.
Well, I mean, if that's the case, then me and you have a way through, right?
Right.
I met some buttermen who somehow believed me that the stray Wanda was the warden's son, and I was turned away.
Or we could hold a meeting with everybody.
Well, do
Not say let's make this meeting hostile.
Do we want the whole council?
I don't think we...
I like the idea of just having the two if we're gonna have a meeting.
I don't know if we have enough time to do this separately. I'm going to just be honest.
Well, we
So
could
I think
we could do the two, right? And then if we need to, we can turn it into like the bigger one right after that.
What will that get us, though? I'll say your dad is on our side. So we've gained... And my dad is too. We have 2 allies. What will we get from talking to the other 3 who we know are bad at that point?
Nope, only
There's 5 and 3 are bad.
there's 5 and 2.5 are bad.
Yeah.
My father's the 50-50.
He is the 50-50.
I thought the other guy also could be 50-50. We don't know if it's Chad's dad or the other guy. Not that I know that, but just
Or
trying to get
Sivius.
facts straight. It's basically
Sivius.
the 2 Pengroves are bad, and then someone else is bad, but they don't believe it's Sivius.
Sivius.
Correct?
They believe it could be any of the 3.
Oh, okay.
That means into your dad too.
Right.
I was metagaming from overhearing your
Yeah,
guys'
Sivius,
conversation. I heard
Helgelius,
something
Giovanni
different.
Pengrove, and Darla. What is that? Dolgian.
Private conversations won't take
Real
long.
name.
I say we call it tonight, get up first light. Me and
Would
Benedict
you
will go
have-
meet my father.
Do you happen to know when curfew lifts?
Hey, barkeep, I heard there's a curfew in town. Not that it seems to be enforced in these parts, but do you know what time that raises in the morning?
I'm not sure. I never really leave Halcyon Plaza, and Butterman don't come down here, so I don't really care.
Dumbass Bottoman, huh?
Heard that?
Well, I suppose, first light, no reason why curfew wouldn't be up.
Should be.
Should we all go to this?
I don't want to be separated in case
Well, I
things
mean,
go
we
bad.
could go 2 and 2.
I can take Benedict with me, being maybe my dad has some wisdom if he's on our side to pass on to Benedict.
I want to
And-
really know who knows what's going on. So I think even if it all goes south, I do have Zone of Truth, and maybe even if it's forced, we could get some information on who knows what and why anybody isn't taking action,
On
regardless
that
of
side, it
whichever
makes
side.
sense if you'd go with
I do think if
Chad,
if-
being I
if
don't
it
think
gets
would
to
work
that-
on my father unless he let you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you and Chad can go. I mean, how far apart are their offices?
Haroldine and Sivius?
Yeah.
Haroldine, he doesn't really have like an office or whatever. He mostly just keeps to the Gilded Gallery, whereas Sivius has his own quarters in the hall.
How far apart are those geographically? They're in the same keep.
No.
No.
They're both in Halcyon Plaza. Maybe a block or 2. away
Do we
from
have
each
any
other.
means of?
I thought we had a sending stone.
I thought we had a sending stone too,
We
don't we?
Do
I have one and someone else has one.
I think I was.
Yeah, so we could communicate.
God, sending stones, yeah.
So I think we give Kaladin and a Benedict a sending stone, being we'll be the ones talking and they'd be the ones
Yep.
more apt to say if something goes wrong.
But I will say though, it is only like a one-way conversation or one back and forth conversation. It's not just like on.
Yeah, it's just one thing. Say shit
Yep.
hits the fan,
Yep.
and
I
we're
think
covered.
the only reason we would use the stones is if you even hear from us, it's presumably we
Shit.
are in a really bad situation.
I think we only need one word even to let us know
We
it's
just-
time
Just
we group up and do what
assume
we
that it's the
can.
worst.
Yep.
Just out of curiosity, how comfortably are we sitting on gold after our spending spree?
I have plenty.
I got plenty.
Like 1,000?
Did plenty.
I was reading over my spell notes here, and I did learn. I did transfer over scrying into my spell book. I mean, it wouldn't be any use until after I got a good night's sleep and I recovered some power. But we could use that to maybe I might be able to kind of spy in on even the Death Knight.
Is that something we want to
Or-
meddle with?
I mean,
Well, you
not necessarily has to be the Death Knight, but
From
really
what I heard
anything
with
to-
scrying, though, don't you need to have something that connects you?
You don't have to, but that'll
Like a glowing
increase.
thing of
Yeah.
poop?
That'll increase.
So what
like,
you could do instead, though, I don't know what your components need for that is.
1,000 gold, like source, so like a
Can you
mirror
cast
or like
whatever you scryed at a higher level?
well, it's
Like,
already-
let's say if my max is 3 and then you use it, can you, or how does that work?
So my scrying is level 5, and I'm capped at 5.
So,
How does Scrying say work?
but what I'm saying is, I could potentially give you something of mine that would connect you to me.
Yeah,
And then you
that
could
would
watch-
increase
no, you
my
could
odds
watch
of.
our conversation while yours is going on.
That is true. Yeah, that's
If
a
that's something.
possibility.
Obviously, the other way around would probably be bad, given Ace's
no.
father.
Basically, I just need a focus, such as a crystal ball or a silver mirror of the sorts, and as long as I know, whoever we're trying to scry, it gets increasingly more easy to pull off the spell if I either have met the person or if I have a personal belonging of them.
Yeah.
But even without, it's still possible. So that's an option.
I think we just need to go talk to... Are you okay with Kaladin coming with me, or what's your,
We're doing this in the morning.
Yeah.
So do we try and place that ward tonight? Being
What time is it?
Maybe 10 p.m.
Well, here's...
So we shouldn't be out and about?
Well, it's not really enforced in this area.
Why don't we do it tonight?
Here's...
Well, do you mean the meeting with our parents?
Yeah.
no
To get
oh,
the
meeting.
curfews enforced and Butterman roam the streets.
above table talk. If we do that, we'll probably get a point of exhaustion going into talking with our fathers for not sleeping.
We can't go there. They're Butterman roam
No,
the streets.
I'm saying if we don't sleep and we go and do this thing at night, in the morning.
I mean, depending on
I
how
don't
long
see the
it
point
takes.
of doing this thing at night for the... don't get me wrong, I enjoy this beholder, but...
This
that's
isn't
not my
for the beholder. This is for the knife. That potentially
going
is a
into
dagger. Going into
Giovanni's?
the office. No, going into the office to place. Oh,
No, that is for the
yeah, that
beholder.
is for the beholder. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
We-
No, that's my
the
bad.
getting the knife is the same
Yeah.
thing as going to talk to our parents. I say we
Yeah,
go
yeah.
rest for the night, and we get up at first light, and
Go
we
meet.
make with the day what we possibly can.
Yeah.
Alright. Go back to our rooms.
Hey, barkeep, on our way out, do you know any shops open this time of night where we might be able to get some magical components? We're-
Normally, everybody closes up around 8. I really open this late.
Yeah,
Roam the streets, you might see one. I don't know.
no worries. Thank you for your courtesy tonight.
You guys gonna be leaving soon? I'm getting tired.
I
Yeah.
think we gotta head out for the night.
Alright, I'll lock up after you.
I will throw him 1 more gold.
Alright. If you guys wanna order food, halftime coming.
We all just pick up our phones.
I think we'll make our way back.
Yeah. To the something boar?
To other rooms.
Not the blue boar, but the
The other boar.
broken boar.
Broken. The BB. Big bitch. Are we live streaming?
No.
Okay.
Why?
Well, I'm just wondering if us just sitting here ordering food is just awkward as shit or not.
Wait, what are
No,
we doing?
I'll
Order
cut
food quick.
this.
Proof for what?
Halftime. If that's something you are interested in.
My problem is I never know what I want.
I'm gonna get some calzones.
I got some Betos.
Or
I want some topper sticks.
Ooh, yeah, those are awesome.
Yeah, I'll eat whatever I can.
cheesy fire roasted corn. Sure.
I got the Parmesan garlic wings.
Oh, it died.
She died.
Is there a free outlet or no?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
we could- oh yeah, never mind.
It's a Type C.
Dude, I just want to beat the fuck out of some people, man. Fuck all this gay shit. Yo, you with us or are you not with us? Alright, hold person. I'll ask you one more time. Are you with us? Or are you not with us?
Is there what?
Is there a cat around here, or is that just Sam rubbing my leg?
I don't think my leg moves that way, Johnny.
I can't wait.
I don't know how your legs move.
Crumble cookies, dude.
You don't know what crumble cookie is?
I'm getting some breakfast
Have you ever had
quesadillas.
it? Oh, brother.
Is it good?
So good.
If you want 4,000 calories in a singular cookie.
Yeah, it's like you get 4 cookies for $16 or some shit. And they come in like a fucking big old fucking.
It's so fucking stupid.
It's like this big. The cookies are like fucking.
Jesus.
And they're like, wonder what this week's cookies are actually.
That's right.
I got breakfast quesadillas.
Yeah, so Johnny, no, never mind. I'll wait until we're actually on break.
I mean, Ben's gone,
he's
so.
taking a piss. So the scrying thing. So second hand, if I've heard of the target, it adds +5 to the roll.
What do you have to hit to get it, or is Shade just.
They have to beat a. It's a knowledge save.
If your
Modifier.
dad's a bard, so
He's
it
not, I
chooses
guess.
a
Wisdom
horrible
saving throw.
fucking idea.
Wisdom saving throw.
Supposedly he's not.
So +5
I mean,
if I've heard. If I've met them, it's just +0. So it's like the regular roll.
Do you have an item of theirs? Or
If I know the target well, so
Ninja
-5.
Japanese steakhouse.
And then connection save modifier, a likeness or picture, -2, or if I have a possession, it's a -4. Or if
Oh,
I have a body
to
part
the
lock of
side.
hair, it's a -10.
for their save?
Yeah.
Okay, I was like, well, if you have their hair, you get a -10 to your roll?
Well, yeah.
That's why I was like,
Oh, hello, Abby.
I shall go to the broken boar and sleep.
Yeah, you guys can leave the blue boar, as you can see, Faramir, the orc behind you, as you step out into the rain, kind of leans out.
I'll, as I'm walking out, I'll be like, Tyr be with you.
Hey, don't worship him. I hail him, but all the same, I guess. Nice to meet you, shepherd, sir. You have a good night. Hopefully you make it home. You guys are drinking a lot.
Speaking of which, how am I feeling? Because
Grab.
after drinking that second one.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
What do we got here? Oh, 7.
Yeah, you're drunk.
Yeah.
As you stumble. Make sure he gets home. Dude. You hear start to lock up the door.
Oh, no, it's okay.
What?
Do you want to get food on my phone and double?
Oh,
Yeah.
You get food on my
You can
Already did.
walk through the streets,
I did while I was in the bathroom.
Oh,
dripping the rain. Now you're starting to very quickly feel it, soak through your clothes as you start to get very damp. Rounding your way about the corner block there, making your way down a few blocks until you can arrive at the familiar site of the broken boar, the huge glass out front on this alley, glowing as you step in. There's a few people, some people drunk, passed out. You can see a barkeep shaking them. All right, ready, time to leave. You can walk over towards your magical elevator, stepping through and ascend over to your rooms.
And Benedict, do you have a minor illusion spell?
I do, kind of. For what?
Could you make an illusion of what we saw in Newton's Cross? To help persuade people.
That what we're saying is true?
Yes. And you hear this all very slurred. Like probably like bumping into you like, hey, you Benedict.
I think Ace has access to that as well.
I keep forgetting that he has
Yeah,
spells,
actually. Illusory script.
That's different.
Is it?
That's writing.
Yeah, but
I have to pick my spells.
the writing appears normal. Oh, never
I
mind.
don't think I have anything like that.
I thought it was like conveying like what I was trying to get at. Okay. So no. Okay.
Alright. You can also change your spells too.
Yeah.
During a long rest, but
I'm gonna disguise myself into Death Knight.
You can scare the town.
if we
That's
kill
one way
him,
to-
I can become him for a day. But I'm gonna go to my room and go to bed.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check out my room intently.
I am
Yeah, give me an investigation.
falling on my bed, fully clothed, passing out. There could be people in there. I don't
Natural
know.
20. Wasted.
Natural 20.
Wasted.
You look around your room, checking every corner, any peepholes, anything that could be like it wasn't there before,
I
or
didn't look
spying
anything
on
was
you,
disturbed or anything. Of the
anything
sort.
like that. Your room looks exactly the way you left it.
Wasted.
The only thing you find is the window is cracked a little bit. You're not sure if you left it cracked or not.
I don't see anything if I poke out the window.
No? You just see the dark alley below. No figures. You can see the rooftops across. Just rain.
I'm gonna leave the window cracked because I like the breeze on the side.
Yeah. Nice and cool.
Like the sound of the rain.
It's probably a good 11 p.m. Do you guys all just want to pass out?
I'm
Yeah,
already
boots
sleeping.
on.
Yeah. A lot of you, a good few tankards down, deep in your ale, in your night. Probably the most comfy bed you've slept in this campaign. You will find rest.
Let's go. Do we achieve long rest?
Roll a 1d4 for me.
What'd you have to ask?
All of us?
Just Chad.
There we
4.
go.
You guys wake up. The morning sun coming through your windows. Although Chad seems a little damp around the crotch section. As you quickly find out that you peed yourself. You completely emptied your bladder. It soaked the bed. You're going to have to talk to somebody about this.
Son of a bitch.
As the familiar
I got a
knock
good
on your
night's
guys'
sleep.
doors. Tum, tum, tum. First on Caladan, and then tum, 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 on Benedict, Chad. If you go and check your door, you can find your platter with a nice buttered, almost split top bloomin' onion.
Ooh.
With a small piece of chunks of steak and
Oh.
a nice water to complement it.
I'm gonna
chug the water.
go to Benedict's room because that's kind of the meeting spot, and say, "Well, I say we eat our grub and we must make haste. It's the 4th day today.
Yeah, who knows what's
day.
going to happen
Who
today?
knows what's gonna happen today? I say we."
I'm not there. It's just
Chad?
you two. I'm chugging that water like I'm hungover type.
All right, well, I'm waiting for everyone to come, and I'm talking to Benedict, saying, "Hey, let's get ready as quick as we can. If
You
me
want
and
to
you
go
are
knock
ready,
on Caladan's door? I'll go make sure.
we can eat. I'm sure they'll be
Chad-
here before we're done eating, and we can always leave first."
True, yeah, we're prepared. I start
I'm gonna
devouring my
start
food.
devouring
Is
my
there
food.
any towels or
No.
something I could maybe try to dry myself off?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's a chamber pot room down at the end of the hall that all the rooms on this floor share.
Yeah, I'll go down there.
I finish inhaling
After-
my
af-
food.
Before eating my food, actually. I'll
And
go
then,
down there and
Kaladin's
I
in
stick
there
my
making
head out
magic.
to see if any of them are awake yet.
go down there.
You can see Chad walking.
Hey, Chad, we're meeting. We're
I
meeting
just
in the
ignore
room.
him, embarrassed, and just keep on walking.
Can I see if did it soak through on his backside too? Can I see?
Give me a perception check.
I would have been laying on my stomach if that makes a difference for this.
You didn't say that.
True.
I'm just kidding.
Well, I figured I would have just face planted onto
7.
the bed.
You don't see anything.
I'm gonna knock on Kaladin's door. Yeah, big
I'll
man.
just hold by the door for him to see
I'll
if
try to,
Kaladin
like,
opens.
Clean up the best that
I'll
I can.
open it.
And then go back to my room and eat.
I say we make haste. It's the 4th day, and you know how far away Gemdrill is.
Mm-hmm.
I saw Chad go into the privy. I think me and Benedict might head out to meet my father right as soon as we can, and you guys, I'm sure, will be following us shortly.
I'd say that's a safe assumption.
Do we need anything else before we do this? Are we just going in? You have a sending stone. Benedict has a sending stone.
Yep.
So you guys are going to Haroldines and you guys are going to Sivius's?
Correct.
I say we make haste. There's no point in waiting. What do you say?
Yeah, I'd say now is a better time than ever. We should do this as soon as possible.
Well, if the sending stone, nothing is said, I say we'll just meet in the plaza up in that high top district. Once we're done, whoever's done first goes there, just sits. Do we see any benches or anything when we had the guy who was a sheep who wanted to kill everyone?
You mean Denver, Colorado?
Did you see any benches in Halcyon Plaza?
Or like a statue or something, and
Or is there
like
like
a
a
water
statue
fountain.
or a water fountain or any points of interest?
Yeah.
Which one?
Like right out front of the main hall there. It's all kind of like symmetrical. Like the sidewalks are like, nice marble,
Yep.
like
Is there any-
neatly cut grass with pools there. Right in the middle there's a statue
They got some
Right.
striping going on.
right out front. It looks like almost in the illusion that you saw of when you first arrived of the almost robed woman holding like a scepter with a huge flag. You can see that statue there.
I say we meet at that statue and whoever's done first goes there. But I think Kaladin and Benedict are going to head out. You got the sending stone. If something comes up beforehand, let us know. Otherwise, we'll meet you at the statue.
Yep. Preface, it's the only way that I would be contacting you through that stone, whether it's at the meeting, after the meeting, is because we are probably in imminent danger.
Yeah, I
Same
think
goes-
that's all we
same
can
goes for
possibly
us.
do. We get one thing. Just say your location the best you can. You don't need to say what's going on. Just say your location. And I think that's the best we can do. It's not much of a message, but location we'll know. If you say the location, we know it's shit. Sound like a plan?
Yeah, and after you guys do take your long rest, you get all your health back, all of your spell slots, everything like that. And this would be the time to take to swap any spells you have, preparedness, things of the sort.
What?
Yeah, what is it you have to roll for the belt? Is it a D20?
I think it's a D100, isn't it?
What is
Oh
this?
yeah, I think it was.
See if he gets a beard.
Like it's just random?
Yeah. Well, it's not random. It's a D100.
80?
You need a D100, so you...
You need to roll a 10 now?
Yeah.
Or the same one and then just...
Yeah, shit.
Seven.
87. When you all see Kaladin as he walks out, coming out of his scales on his chin, all the way up to his ears, you can see a good stubble sticking about 2 inches out.
That's a lot of stuff.
It is a lot of stuff.
It's almost like his hair itself is confused because it's almost like black, but then it turns to white.
As we're walking away, I'm going to say, remind me to buy you a razor.
Okay. And then I'll look at
That was
both
so
of you
Jim
very
Carrey, dog.
seriously, and I'll just be like, you two just make sure, regardless of what goes down in this meeting, you have means to run as fast and as far away as you possibly can.
We both got Misty Step. I think.
Because I'm not going to be able to be there to crush some heads in for you. No, like punch you in the shoulder.
Both of you do know somewhat. You haven't seen your father in a good while, but you hasn't been maybe 2 weeks since you've seen yours.
God, that's crazy. That's all this happened today.
When you guys have these conversations with them, like if it's private, just one-on-one with them, there's not like a danger you're going to be in. You're kind of on the fence about it, but knowing your father, you're not going to be in like danger.
I just don't want to.
But
not
there
necessarily
is
mean
that.
them. I'm just saying the looming threat we have surrounding Basinport.
But there is that looming doubt that is creeping like subconsciously into the back of your head, where you're like, "Is my father corrupt?" But with that being said, and in the morning, the high sun creeping and greeting your faces as you leave the Broken Boar. Some of you a little bit hungover, a little sore, somewhat dried, but it's like that dry after you went swimming in the same clothes, and they dried while you're sleeping. You step out into the streets of Hyman's Landing, where then we will take our break and be back.
I left at like 4:15 and got to McDonald's. I sat there for like 25 minutes eating food. Picked Ben up 2 McDoubles and then ate this. But other than that, that's it.
Nothing big, light snack before dinner when I get home.
Nothing much.
Didn't want to sweat too bad, play on a full stomach. Something to hold me
Couple
over.
pretty light meals today.
6 mixed chickens.
So this is what I eat daily.
55 fries.
7 cheeseburgers, 4 large fries.
Welcome to McDonald's.
Calories aren't real.
Anyways, we pick back up where you guys are leaving the Broken Bar. You're now back on the street. You're technically, even though you're going to split up, you're both kind of going to the same area. So you can walk with each other up to Helkin Plaza if you like.
Well, I would have assumed that they would have left sooner, because me trying to clean up myself.
At this point,
You guys
from
heading out
researching
first?
you, do I notice anything?
You
That
saw
was
it.
the plan because we were trying to
Well,
leave
where
and
are
we
you?
pretty much
What do
went
you
to the bathroom.
Well, you just were
I was in my room.
Oh, but you ran past us.
Do you smell anything?
Give me a perception check.
Me? Oh, I think I smell something. 18.
Oh, yeah.
Did you have asparagus?
that would
in it?
be-
Was there asparagus in that drink?
You smell ammonia as you leave the Broken
Like-
Boar.
Must have dogs or animals in here somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, it must be. It's dogs. Definitely dogs.
Maybe the horses.
Definitely dogs.
Couldn't have been me.
Anyway.
So yeah, you guys can head out first, and you make your way up to the plaza. You kind of skirt through the alleys and in between some buildings, through the Whitecap Bazaar on your way up there. While you're going, go ahead and give me a perception check.
It's a big one, guys.
Let's get the one
It's
out
not.
of
At advantage?
No.
Why?
Because I'm always super aware
Ready?
of what's going on.
I'm ready for that shit.
That's why he's never
6.
stealthy. He's too busy worrying
6.
about other stuff.
14.
14.
good
Ace,
roll.
you notice as you're walking, the streets are pretty crowded now. There's some people, not quite where you're like, trudging shoulder to shoulder like Assassin's Creed, digging through the crowd type thing. But there's a hustle and
What's
bustle. You're not on the streets where there's really any wagons transporting provisions or anything. It's all just foot traffic here. You're pretty much in the shopping district. But you notice that you're swinging by, not quite in front of, but near a Stroke of Luck, which is the shop that you were in previously to purchase all of your magic items. As you can see the shopkeep as she steps out, one of the shopkeeps, kind of long black, jet black hair, seems pretty pretentious. Her shoulders are kind of like perked up a little bit. She looks a little frustrated. She kind of walks out just to get some air. She kind of kneels down. She's sitting there breathing. You're like about to brush past her.
Madam, what seems to be the issue today? We were just in your fine establishment. Is there anything we can help you with?
She kind of looks up, sees you both, kind of stands up. I think I remember you. Yes, you were here yesterday, no?
Yes.
She kind of looks down the street, kind of where you came from, but then like off to the side a little bit. Well, now that you bring it up, you could help me with something, if you don't mind.
Depending on what it is, we are short on time at the moment, but depending on the urgency, we can see what we can do, or possibly help in a later date this evening.
She kind of like, she's looking around, almost like she's might be trying to hide something. I could use your help. There's a man. He runs a shop down the road nearby. You can see it right over there. I'd say he's what you would call bad for business. It's more of a dirt hole of a place. Scares off all the customers. And it is, if I may say so myself, a disgrace to this upstanding citizen such as yourselves. Here in Basinport, at least. The place smells of piss, and you can see rodents festering their way about. The old rat of a man himself looks like a rat. I suggest putting him... As people like walk by, she kind of waits. Putting him out of business. How you go about that is up to you if you decide to help him in this endeavor. However it is, seeing that you're physically capable, well, let's just say you'd be doing the city a great service. Oh, and gentlemen, we never talked. What do you say?
Will we never talk in the future? Is there anything in it for us?
There may be a little coin. She kind of like pats her pocket.
Can I give a what's it called?
Perception.
No, insight. I want to see if she's just being racist or
Sure.
if there's an actual reason.
Go ahead.
Fair. That's
I mean, it's fair. 12.
12. She seems very truthful. You can't really tell if there's any racism behind it.
Can I ask what this disgusting fellow has done? I just always like a little more understanding before I do a deed.
Sure. He's had his shop for quite a while. I don't know how. Looking around, you can see these beautiful constructs around you. New shops come and go, maybe. However, the stroke of luck has been here for quite a while. And this man of sorts, if you can call it that, some people don't like to go down that alley, if you will. They steer their way around, which steers them around our shop. I would like to get as much foot traffic as possible.
I think we are an understanding. I think we are getting a meeting to go to, but we have two other allies, I think you remember. One of them's kind of hard to forget, the big 7-foot dragonborn, perchance.
I do remember him, yes.
I'll give him a talk, and we'll see what we can do, even though we've never talked before, madam.
Right. Well, you have a good day.
Is it on the way we're going?
You just passed it. It's like a block back.
You won't even check it out or do it later?
You can see her walk into the shop.
Oh, do you want-
really the only option?
The shop,
that's the
can't we just go in?
Yeah, we could go in there.
We'll just take a detour to the shop just to peek our heads inside.
To the other shop, the dirty one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You kind of go back a little bit. Looking around the right, you can see the shops that go around this block, if you will, they're all connected. And they rise up, some of them going up 2 stories, where you see this one, the street itself, the cobblestone, seems like they're almost rubble, like they've been crushed and destroyed, leading up to the building, where it sticks out like a sore thumb. It's obviously like more dilapidated than the other ones. It's almost brown. But you can see it's very muddy right out front. There's a boards covering the broken windows, and you can see a sign, but it has fallen. The only 4 words that are legible in the mud on it as you look at the sign is rat, 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 rat. in all caps.
I wonder what's in this shop. I've been to Staples.
Well,
Fuck is Staples.
you wanna head inside?
Maybe they have a magic stone we need for scrying. We could always just pop in and check.
Yeah.
You can give me a perception check if you like.
17.
7.
You're kind of just taken aback by this shop, and it seems out of place next to the almost pristine, almost not quite, but like white pillar, outside of a bank type looking buildings next to it. But your eye catches on the sign. You notice like the mud covering it. Those are only parts of words that you can make out.
Also, it's not actually rat.
Correct. There's like 4 words almost, and like you see like rat here.
Do you see that sign, Benedict?
It's on the ground. It fell off,
Oh.
and it's in the mud.
Can we investigate it further now that we noticed it? Can I brush it off?
Sure.
All right, I'll be curious. I'll go over.
Choose your hand.
Probably a spare cloth out of my bag. I don't like dirtying myself.
You find something. Go wipe it off. Some of it's dried in the sun, but some of it's a little wet. It's just nasty. People are walking by and they're kind of just looking at you like.
I'll leave the cloth, by the way.
Yeah. But you wipe it off and you can see that it reads, "Exasperatingly preponderant conglomeration of magical rations."
I say we take a quick peek.
Yeah. I don't think it could hurt.
Those are too many big words.
We'll go inside.
Yeah. You kind of
Magical.
have to like step your way along like a 2x4 that goes up to a
Do an
broken
acrobatics
stone, kind of walking across. Go ahead and give me an acrobatics check. If you roll a 5 or lower, you are shin deep in mud.
Spider-Man, dude. Yeah, the freezer. But dude, even when he walked up there, he was just
6.
6.
I rolled a
What'd you
4. You were like 5 or under. 4.
I rolled a 2 and I got a +3.
Oh, I see.
Oh,
Yeah, so
5 or
yeah, you
under.
both, you're like, oh yeah, let's just step right up into the shop. You kind of go to walk over. All of a sudden, Ace's foot slips, kind of chuckles back at
Ace is
Benedict, but
falling in
then
the mud.
Benedict kind of slips. You grab onto each other. You almost fall into the mud for real. And you're like, take a moment, step off. You're at the shop. And people are steering clear, and they're just looking at you like you're dumbasses. But yeah, you can step up. The shop itself, there are windows, but they're all broken, and most of them have boards nailed onto the front. The inside, it's kind of dark, maybe dimly lit, but yeah, you can just walk up. You want to just walk in?
Yeah.
The bell falls off on the ground. Kind of shut the door the best you can and get it shut.
Do I
Turning
see
around.
anyone? Do I see anyone?
You do. Looking around, you can see it's a low ceiling, kind of has like a homey feel. All of it wood. You can see there's beams, and then almost like a bar in the back. On the walls, there isn't much. You can see where there were things that were posted up for, like for sale or things of the sort. But you get the idea that this place doesn't get too much foot traffic in here itself.
Will it open on its own is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
But looking behind the bar, you see no one.
Is this establishment open?
There's a moment. You can see a figure pop up behind the bar. Looking at it, it's very, very curious looking man. You can see a 3-foot tall, tan-skinned gnome. He pops up over this bar. He seems to be like he's standing on something, so he can get a good eye to eye from you. But you can see a large matted dark gray beard that joins with his hair all over, almost like a lion's mane, very matted. He covers almost his whole body, other than 2 little stick legs and arms that poke out of this bush. His strangely large hands compared to the rest of his body, and he squints all the time and almost pulls a monocle out of his beard so he can see who's in the shop. He kind of...
I see you walked into my shop. Well, welcome. What can I do you for?
kind of stuffs it away.
I don't know if I've seen a shop like this before. What goods you got in store?
Oh, you're looking to purchase things. Give me a sec. And kind of just disappears behind the bar. You can tell he's kind of standing on a stool of sorts. Just hops off. You can hear thud, and then he starts rattling around. He hops back up. Well, I can see you are also a gnome.
Hello.
He appears to be both of magical make, no? Yes. Just the thing. Give us a sec.
Us.
Oh, yeah.
Can I
He
give
just
an
stands there.
insight check on this guy? This guy's weird.
Go ahead.
No.
20, non-natty.
Yeah. He looks to be truthful. Everything he's saying it seems very, very straightforward. He seems like a very simple man. Maybe weird, but pretty
Seems like
simple
a
man.
George.
What?
From George and Lenny, Mice and Men.
Come
You're
on,
good.
man. What are you doing?
Never mind. Sorry, my bad.
The closer
That
you
was
look,
filled
or the longer you're in here, both of you kind of peer around. You can see things moving. You can see rats. You can see them running about the store. All of them, they're almost going up boards, and then they skitter up almost a post before they disappear in a hole in the ceiling. Some of them run over, pick up the bell that you fell, disappear into the wall before they pop out on the top of the doorway and kind of affix it. And they disappear back into the door. Him himself, you can see one of them peers out of his beard. You can see sniffing around. Oh, there they are, yes. This here's Dan the Man. Please, do not be alarmed to my friends here. They helped me with the shop.
Hill?
Sorry. Yes. Kind of reaches into his beard, pulls out like a little piece of cheese. You can see the rat starts nibbling on it. Oh, there you go, Dan. Oh, and then he disappears. Well, as for things, this right here. Oh, thank you, Van. Here you go. Pulls up looks like a metal, almost like beam. Goes to hand it to you, but before you can grab it, he just lets it go, and it stays in space. Take a look. Feel free.
I'm assuming I'm gonna try to pick it up.
Yeah, you go to grab it. Doesn't move.
I think I've heard of such a device before. Could you give me a little more details on the happenings of this, though?
Aye. Pulls out his monocle again. You can hear his rat in his beard. Oh, yes. Dan says you just have to push the button on the side.
Can anyone do it?
I believe so.
Okay, I'll push the button, and
You can move.
it's a strange apparatus. Doesn't seem to get much foot traffic in here, but I'd be curious, what would something like this go for?
Oh, one sec here. Cran, can you grab me the book? There it is. Kind of pulls up a little booklet, maybe this big. Starts thumbing through. Ah, yes. I can't read it. I don't know, they'll probably go for like 100 copper or something.
A single
How much is 100 copper and gold?
and
Is
silver.
that one gold?
No, it's
You can see him looking at his book again.
I can't read.
Dan, you can try.
You know
I
what?
reckon that sounds about right, but we could
That's-
probably give you a little bit more for your...
I like the
Little
rats.
more.
We'd give you a little more. Maybe you can pick them up some cheese, per se.
Oh, you're not gonna haggle me. 80 copper.
we're really thinking like 2 gold.
Oh.
Then you can buy some food and maybe keep these rats inside the shop and not roaming around on the streets.
Were they outside?
Yep.
He's kind of looking towards like the base of the door.
Would you have any other goods? I'll hand him 2 gold and I'll take the rod.
Thank you. Well, we have a little bit more. 10! You can see another rat comes out of the top, up across the beam, kind of looking down at you before it pulls a little string wire
and then on the side, one of the cupboards opens up. And the door falls off. And the thing falls, but it almost gets caught halfway. It's like, yeah, take a look. You can pull it open.
I investigate.
I'll investigate
You
it.
kind of walk over, grab a little bit, fall out like it's supposed to. There's just shelf, completely empty.
What do you do here? It doesn't seem to be...
I reach in and see if anything's invisible.
It's all right, sir. If you can reach that string above you, it's supposed to be that one.
Can I reach it?
No.
I'll go over and I'll pull it.
You pull the string. The next one opens up right next to it. And you can see some vials. Clink, 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 clink.
I tried them.
Feel free.
How many vials are there?
I believe we've got 3 of the graters. Looks like 4. Nope. There's nothing on the second shelf.
How much for the lot of them?
How much is there? I can't see that far. There's 3.
There's 3.
Well, that'll be a... Dan, get my book. Kind of...
Let's just buy everything at the store and then
That's my
close
plan
up.
right
Keep them
now.
close up for good.
Each of these will go, I don't know why I'm looking at the book, I can't read. 1 copper each?
Hey,
I
just
think-
a
Was
quick,
that too pricey?
just a quick question. You wouldn't happen to have a price tag on the store, would you?
On the store? You trying to buy my store?
Perhaps.
I wouldn't like to impose, but I've always wanted a store downtown.
I mean, we like what you sell here, and honestly, we might kind of like keep it the same. So you're always welcome to visit and whatnot. If that was
Well, this isn't really just my store. I sleep upstairs.
I mean,
Don't tell anybody I said that.
no worries. We could help you out with a place to stay, and maybe give you enough money to even
How many rats you got?
get a house.
I love rats myself. How many you got in here?
Well, let me think. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. Yes. There's Tan, Can, Van, Cran, and News Dan the Man.
Have I not seen more than 5? Is it only 5?
Yeah,
It's hard to
they're
tell
just,
'cause they
in and out.
disappeared, huh?
Yeah.
You guys are very kind. I don't know how much you must have deep pockets.
Metagaming. Can I metagame for a sec? Like, you know how like guilds of Ravencrest, is this something like we could start a guild and a shop and stuff? Are we going that deep into this?
You can if you want, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah, I would like to do that, honestly, guys.
Absolutely.
It's one of the things I've always kind of wanted to stop my own shop of sorts. It's
Ever since my folks died protecting the Athenaeum, I've always wanted to open up a magic shop of my own.
I see you are a deep gnome, no?
Yep. And I can see you here have had a very, very nice life, gnome, honest living here.
I like to meet the man eye to eye. You can see him disappear before you can see him come around the corner. It's just like a bush of hair, and you see his like really lanky, skinny limbs just poking out at the bottom as he walks up. Stands eye to eye with you. Nice to meet you. What's your name?
Benedict Battlebeard.
Benedict Battlebeard. My name's Ponifertus.
Ponifertus. All right, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you too. Why are you trying to buy my store?
like I said, Ponifertus, I've always wanted to have a magic shop of my own. I've always wanted to start something.
I see.
I don't want to impose, obviously, but we just thought we'd ask to see if it's an opportunity.
Well, given I don't even know the prices of my own items, I don't know what I would price my store as. You said I'd have a place to stay. I could stay upstairs.
I think we could get you a room rented that you could stay.
Okay.
It's something we
Somewhere.
gotta look into. Ponifertus, you here all the time?
Absolutely. I live here.
You know what, Ponifertus? I'll take these 3 vials for now. How much do you want for them?
A copper each.
I'll give them 3 copper.
Unless that's too spendy for you.
No, it's a good relationship.
Absolutely.
So, were those greater healing pots?
Yes, I believe. Dan, get my book. Kind of pulls it out. I don't know. I keep looking at it. I can't read. Yeah, no, those are
They're a brew of curious man that I came across about 50 years ago, but yes, he made his own potions.
Oh, fuck yeah.
They're very small, but they're very potent.
50-year-old potion, possibly greater healing pot, possibly death. That's what I wrote down.
I don't know why you would die. He was a very good alchemist.
Oh, what was his name?
What was his name? Dan, get my book. It's not in here.
Hey, no worries. But you know, Pontifitus, I'll tell you what.
Pontifitus.
Pontifitus, I do apologize.
And your name is?
Ace.
Nice to meet you, fella.
Nice to meet
He
you.
reaches up. His hands are larger than yours.
Hand slider go.
I'll tell you what. You know, we're just back in town. We've been out of town for a bit. You find if I look into housing, we were looking for housing ourselves anyway. So I do some details for the both of us, and then we could possibly talk about the shop.
Sure, I'll come back anytime.
Hey, that sounds great, Pontifitus. I think we'll head on our way. We'll see you either tonight or tomorrow, probably. Sound okay?
It sounds good to me. I'll be here.
Sounds good, Pontifitus.
All right,
We'll see you in a
great
bit.
meeting
Tan, get him some cheese on the way out.
Does a rat hand me cheese?
Once you leave, yes, there will be a rat waiting for you with cheese.
Okay, I will head out and I will take the cheese.
Yeah, kind of.
And I will hold on to it like I like it, but I'm not going to put it in my mouth.
Okay.
You don't want the plague?
And the whole place in here, as you're walking, you kind of have to watch where you step because some of the floorboards are cracked and broken in.
And then we'll head on our way.
Have a beautiful day.
We'll see you soon, Pontifitus.
You too. I'll watch my step.
Scuttles
as I
behind the bar.
Quickly leave this establishment.
Yeah. And then you can walk out,
We're buying that shit.
stepping over the mud again. Go ahead and give me another acrobatics check.
Wasted. 19, natty.
19. You know the way now.
You don't do it.
Yeah, we gotta do one too, Josh.
But after stepping out, you can realize that although this is a very dirty place, Parnifitus is a very lovely man.
How much do I know roughly how much it would cost to fix up that shop? Because it's in a hellhole right now.
I can look up some numbers for you.
Yeah, can we do that? Because actually, that's one thing I've read. Some of that stuff is so fucking cool what you can do. So,
Yeah. So
we'll
you
look into
can
that.
you can pay money to. It depends on what you want to build, but you pay gold to the city itself. You'd have to get some licenses, things of the sort. But after you get it, pay for the construction.
Builds
You're gonna
and
have to pay
Raven
for workers. Say again.
Do you have that book?
Not on me.
But do you have it online?
Yeah.
So I can look at it online?
Yeah.
We know it'd be like, realistically, if he wasn't senile,
A shit ton of
thousands
money,
of
not
gold
possible.
just because of this location.
Roughly. We'll look into. I'll talk. We'll all talk after this when we get it more
Take
because I do want
advantage
to
of
do
an
that.
old man.
Hey, we're alike. He's
I'm not
just-
gonna take advantage too much. We'll make sure he's good.
But yeah, you can
Yeah,
add to your
give him a
inventory
place
those
to
3
sit.
vials and an immovable rod.
Yeah, quit fucking saying random vials, okay?
You turn into a cloud.
Alright, why? I say we get on our way to our meeting.
Yep.
When we're gonna make haste.
As we come to Caladan and Chad.
That's
They're
not
kicking your
Caladan,
check
it's
or
not
something down there. Whatever
it's
this.
It's a blanket.
Oh, that's Ben's feet.
Yeah.
I was like,
As we come to Caladan and Chad, as you leave the Broken Boar on your way, heading up to Halkian Plaza. You want to go left or right?
Probably live up the stairs, honest to God. If we fix
which way's
it
the
up,
most direct way?
They're both the same.
Yeah.
If you go left,
I'll be
we teach him a
following
couple
Chad.
things, I think
if
we
you go
can-
right, it goes through
I
the
think
White
Shane
Cap
would work with
Bazaar.
us on it.
And if you go left, it's kind of by where you met that automaton, and you'll swing by the Blue Bar again.
Even will be right. We're going right.
All right, to Halkian Plaza through the White Cap Bazaar. Kind of heading pretty much the same way they did. Stepping through, a little bit more busy. You actually run by one horse pulling a wagon, dude on top. You can see like some barrels and hay on the back. But as you're making your way, you can go across the small bridges over smaller aqueducts over until you're kind of getting closer towards the center, the heart of the White Cap Bazaar, where greeting your view over top of some buildings and the people themselves, you can see the white sails of the ships as they're just now arriving through this huge portal.
from the backside of the portal, all it looks like is just like a weird ethereal white. It's kind of a trick of the eye, almost like a mirage as it greets the sunny sky above. But as you're almost coming closer to the main canal, both of you give me a perception check.
How did I manage to roll the exact same thing twice?
It's 6.
6.
11.
You can't think because of the smell.
That's it.
As you're walking, you kind of don't really pay mind to people around you. Like I said before, they're not shoulder to shoulder bumping into you, but like for a Kaladin's taste at least, it's a little too crowded. But you eventually do reach the main canal, where around on these almost like islands, there's almost like barges, and then some ships that seem to be have docked, where you can see some people walking up and a plethora of different fruits and food. Across on another one, you can see a man who seems to be somewhat of a Fletcher, where he sells different looking crossbows and longbows and recurves atop there. But what greets your eyes and almost beckons you, you can see a purple tent, rather short, maybe only 5 feet tall, with almost like gold filigree that leans up to the top, almost like what do you call it, henna, kind of on the top of the tent itself. Where looking inside, as you walk by, you got higher than him. You see almost 2 glowing yellow eyes on the inside, peering out of the darkness, straight at you.
You see those eyes in that tent there, Kaladin?
Oh, I guess I must have missed it. Which one?
Which tent? There's a tent.
The purple one that's kind of out of place.
No, I guess I did not notice any eyes in there. Is it like...
They're like glowing, like yellow.
You hear a voice in your head.
Please don't be shy.
Is it like a creepy, weird eyes, or good eyes, or...
I mean, they were just eyes, but then I just heard something in my head telling me not to be shy, so I think they're creepy eyes. But I'm strangely intrigued by it. You want to check this out quick?
Lead the way, Chad.
Alright, we'll slowly
I'll
meander
be like
over there.
as you walk away from me, I'll be like...
Yeah, you approach the tent. The tents around
How
seem to just be more
out of
open.
place does it look compared to...
Not totally out of place, but this one seems to be enclosed on all sides, so you can't see what's inside. The other ones seem to be like, get your ales here for 5 gold. You know,
Like it seems a little more shady.
yeah.
Okay.
But as you approach the darkness interior, you can, Kaladin, pick up on the yellow eyes that seem to be almost reflective, almost like when you see a dog or a cat at night. But as you walk up, you want to step in?
Yes.
You gotta bend down quite a bit.
We
Yeah.
both do.
I'll like,
you reach
I'll like
down.
brush it all up, but then like struggle to make it through.
Yeah, you can see like the braids almost at the end of a rug that's gold, but you push it aside and step inside. Dimly lit, maybe only 5 feet tall. The entire tent could probably only fit 4 people before it starts to get very uncomfortable. But right in the middle, there's almost what looks like to be a log or like a bench of some sort, but they're using it as a table. 2 pillows, purple, sitting on the floor, and a figure sitting behind. You can see a female Leonin, same as Theovar. Except this Leonin is different from the Theovar that you've seen. She looks to be somewhat of a deep black, almost jaguar, and you can see the yellow eyes.
Are they called Leonin?
Yep. But as you step in, she speaks aloud. You can see her white, almost like jaguar teeth. Please, don't be shy. Take a seat,
Alright.
and we shall get started.
What are we
You can see
doing?
her kind of lean forward on the table, and even though she's a female, she looks rather skinny. As she leans forward, you can see the fur on her arms is just very, very muscular. But if you take a seat on the pillow, she kind of leans forward. How would I like to interest you in a reading?
Of...
What may yet come to pass?
How much?
That'd be 5 gold per reading.
5 gold?
Aye.
4.
You've twisted my
And
leg.
if it's positive, I'll give you 5.
I like those.
Okay.
I like those odds. Please take a seat and we will get started. Palms out.
I put my palms out.
Is it both of us?
Oh yeah, you're
Yes.
so, it's like I'm assuming it's kind of like
I'll ask that. I'll be like, so wait, are we both doing this then?
Absolutely.
She's like, Chad just reads it.
Okay.
And there they are. She kind of grabs your wrist, her furry hands, where her palm is, it's just skin, but she seems oddly warm. And she kind of, there we are. Flips your hands over, places them on the table, flicks a match, lights a little candle.
It's getting romantic.
I'm feeling romantic.
Chad
Lights another
starts sitting
candle.
on Caladan's lap.
Sets it down.
How'd I get here?
Hear some things rattle behind her
Oh my god.
before she peers up. Do you happen to be religious?
Sweet glockety.
Perhaps. Yes.
I like look at him when he says perhaps, and I'll be like, yes.
Curious. Pulls out a little bag, sets it on the table. You can't tell what's in it. It looks like almost a brown velvet bag. May I ask for any religious belongings on either of you? Maybe disposable?
I don't have anything disposable.
You don't have the thing I gave you.
I do. It's not disposable.
You know what disposable means?
Yeah, but I'm just thinking. I don't know. If
I have
do.
a religious item, but I need it back. That's the issue.
Keep it if you wish. What about you, sir?
Could I just take off like a sigil on one of, like my piece of armor or something?
It will be consumed.
I'll like grab it, just giving into it, and I'll like kind of fiddle with it a little bit, but then I'll snap it free, and then I'll hand it over.
She takes it, sets it down.
I'll leave it. I'll be like, this better be good.
May I
I'm
ask,
thinking at this point too.
do you both worship the same god?
That's a very good question.
I believe we did.
I thought we did, and then I asked a question the other day that made me believe otherwise, but could have changed since
It's like a
then.
married couple. What god?
Tyr.
Tyr. We will take this now. Sets it down. Takes both of your hands, places it on top.
Yeah.
And now we will begin. You can see as she reaches back and starts to yell. She effectively is casting the spell Commune. You contact your deity or a divine proxy and ask up to 3 questions that can be answered with a yes or no. You must ask your questions before the spell ends, it lasts a minute. You receive a correct answer for each question. Divine beings aren't necessarily omniscient, so you might receive unclear as an answer for if a question pertains to information that lies beyond the deity's knowledge. In a case where a one-word answer could be misleading or contrary to the deity's interests, the DM might offer a short phrase as an answer instead. We will now ask Tim 3 questions. You have 60 seconds, so I'll be hasty. What is your first question?
Conan, I think you should go first. Given.
I'll sit there and think really hard. I'll be like, do you think if I devote myself to being faithful to Tyr, one day I will be as strong, if not stronger, than Theova?
She presses her hands on top of yours, pressing them down onto this sigil that you have. You wait.
We just waiting for questions or answers?
Kind of just still in here. Do you close your eyes?
Yeah.
Do you close your eyes?
She pickpockets you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of.
So I know I'm communing with Tyr, right? Yeah, then
That's-
I'll be super invested in this. Yeah, for sure.
I'll
Yeah,
be like
you kinda-
hesitant,
Yeah,
but
you,
I'll like
you hesitate a little bit,
more just like
and then you close your eyes.
not trusting.
A moment passes, not a long moment, but a short moment, and then you feel almost like someone's not watching you, but there's almost
Like when you get the sense that there's somebody else in the room. You can feel almost the warmth on your shoulders. You more so than Chad, but you do feel it. You get it not in words, Caladan, but almost like a response, or like when you watch somebody ask them a question and they do, like you're watching their body language, and that's how you get your answer. You get a resounding yes.
Okay.
And what about your question, sir?
If I give my faith to Tyr, will I be able to protect my friends and those I love?
Another moment passes. A little bit longer than Caladan's. You're almost getting worried because you've never really done this before. You're almost getting worried that you're not going to get an answer. Then you can imagine in your head the golden sun that you saw when you first arose after being revived. Even though it was nighttime, you swear in this vision, and this remembrance, this memory of that scenario and the scar across your chest, you swear you can see sunlight and sunbeams coming through the skies. Yes. And the third, you have about 30 seconds left, and being you're like an old married couple, I'd quickly decide what you want to ask and who wants to ask it.
And again, sorry, out of it. So like, this is just communing with our God, and then the basis of the question can be anything, but they can only answer like thoroughly if they have knowledge of it.
Correct.
But it's never a lie, correct?
Correct.
Gods have knowledge of a lot of things.
15 seconds.
You have anything, Kaladin?
Ten.
Shit, I'm trying to think.
If we go on this path to fight the Death Knight, is there any chance of succeeding in defeating the Undead Army?
You wait for a moment, and then both of you feel this answer come to your heads. Not as clear as the first two answers. You get the feeling of unsureness. Well, that was a very weird question on the last one. I don't know where you two hail from.
What was your last question?
Yeah, I didn't even really get that.
Oh, I asked if we have, like, the ability to defeat the Undead Army.
I had very different questions than you three. But it's
Yeah, well,
But
they're not
that'll be
religious.
5 gold each, 10 gold total. Here you go. Holds out a dish.
To put the money in?
Yes. And you, sir?
I'll take the money out, put it in there.
Thank you very much.
Yes, and thank you as well.
You can see behind you.
Are you this taken?
You can see a little kid. No, please, step right in. You're done.
Thank you for your time.
Ah.
No, like bow.
Take a seat, child.
Step out.
And then you can step out into the crowd again in the
Do we know
sun.
the questions that either of us asked, or was it just like we thought it and then got answered?
It's up to you. Did you say it out loud?
I would have.
Yeah, I would have. So yeah.
It's very interesting.
Just be like, well, when you're on the fly, not knowing, what to ask, it's kind of hard to come up with something so short.
Oh, I agree. You feel better about what we're doing now, though?
I'll sit there. I guess. I don't know. She could just be crazy.
She could be. We don't even know if
That could have just been like a spell. I don't know.
that made me feel better.
Both of you give me a perception check as you step out.
Oof. Oof.
Oh, God. 5?
Jesus Christ, dog.
Dude, my rolls have been terrible.
They just
4.
don't get better.
No. Touch my dice. No.
Looking around, you can see there is the path that leads across the main canal and leads up the staircase to Helkian Plaza. You can see the gates are open.
I suppose we should continue on our way.
Yeah. Lead the way.
Right.
So then we can go meet Haroldine, your father.
Correct.
Yeah. And you follow suit. Coming back to you two, after you leave Parnifitus's, or the exasperatingly preponderant conglomeration of magical rations, you going straight to Sivius's?
Yeah, for the time being. We'll deal with this later.
Just
Same dealio. You're ahead of them because they left even after talking to Parnifitus. But yes, you can walk across the bridge. You almost have to wait for a sec because a ship is going by, so you can see this bridge in front of you, this stone. Almost turns like we've seen an invisibility spell.
Yes or no?
As the ship goes by, you can see the captain behind the wheel or whoever's wheeling it just stare at you.
Can I switch from this to this?
Good. You could get that spell.
Just continues.
Did I see a coin pouch?
Slow.
Did I see a coin pouch
I
on
think
this
you
guy?
can eventually.
Yeah.
I think so.
So you could talk.
He's way up there.
Did
on a
he
ship.
really give me a look of...
He was looking at Benedict.
Okay.
But it's very awkward and very slow as you're just waiting. But it passes and then the bridge forms again.
What's he gonna do? Get
And
off
you
the
can
ship?
follow suit. Heading back up to Helkian Plaza. You step into the plaza. Again, the noise of the crowd kind of dies out a little bit. There's a little bit of foot traffic, people here and there, but in general, every figure you see up here is adorned in like the most ornate clothing you've ever seen.
Would I remember road less traveled to my dad's room? Because I'm assuming they're not just going to let two people walk in to talk to
Yeah,
them.
I mean there isn't really a road less traveled to go. Most of the place is a giant courtyard, and then buildings around the perimeter.
Well, we're just going to... I know the way. I'm just going to walk like I know where I'm going.
And you know it is in
With
the
like
town hall.
clipboard in
main
hand,
building.
pretending we got someplace.
Yeah. But you try and fit in walking along.
I'll fluff my collar.
You pass by a couple of buttermen, almost a group of 4 that seem to be marching back to go down the steps, but they don't even pay any mind to you. They just keep walking. And you can come up to the main city hall. The steps ascend, and you can see the familiar courtyard of almost marble stone floors that seem to shine, and off ahead where you never really looked left, but where that illusion was of the statue of Eldath, the Eldath Accords, that is gone. And there's only a few people walking around. You can see a group hobble almost on the steps inside. Seem to just be discussing among themselves. But on the main portion, huge, tall, just clear glass windows that almost curve. And you know that this is what you can see from below. Across the main canal of the Whitecap Bazaar is these huge windows. You look left as you step in. Your footsteps kind of like reverberate off of the marble as you walk.
Can you tell me when we're within 120 feet of where I think my dad is?
Oh, you are. Before you even entered the building.
Okay, have we entered while we were walking up?
Yeah.
Okay, what do I see? Does it look like we're going to make it there without being asked questions, or does it look like people are going to
It looks so. You can make it there unimpeded.
All right.
Off to your left, as you ascend the second step of stairs, you kind of pass past that group. And they pay no mind to you. You just walk past, and then you can look off to the left. You can see the door shut from the room that you arrived in that teleportation circle. You are going mirror. You go right up to the doors. Swing open one of them. Inside, you can see a teleportation circle. You know this to be the teleportation circle you can step into to go to your father's quarters.
Well,
Is this like a doorless room?
we'll go through.
All right.
Yeah, kind of looking back, you shut the door, walk up. Again, it's a mirror room of the one across. Statues along the sides of different races. You can see dragonborns, you can see gnomes, you can see gifts. You can see a Githyanki statue. Stepping into this teleportation circle, you know that you just have to say your father's name.
Servius Aurelius.
The runes around, similar to when you've drawn it on chalk, except these are permanent, etched into the stone. They start to alight with almost what looks like to be like a liquid mercury as it fills all of the holes before they soak into the stone, and you are teleported. It feels a little bit different than when you cast the one going from Merrill Bluff, because you're not going, or at least what seems to be, so far. But you do feel that teleportation feeling of your body almost getting elongated and stretched in time, almost like a mirage that you see on the heat on a long road. Everything just starts to blur together before you're in a room. Very quickly. As you arrive, you apparate into a dimly lit cylindrical space. No doorways in sight. This large room has a domed roof. All along the gray stone walls around you are tipped stained glass windows, sporting an assortment of colors. You can see one that's almost like from this distance, almost like a blue. You can see like some almost like white, like looks like caps of mountains. Another one right next to it, a hot orange desert, and the sort. From behind you, a huge metal beam swings up and along the ceiling, eventually slowing at the opposite end where your gaze drops to rest upon a heavy navy blue wooden desk. Actually both of you give me a history check.
With advantage?
No.
I mean, I might have an advantage on this one. It's my dad's chambers.
22.
Damn.
11.
11. I mean, you both know what it is. But you know more so the history of it. And this is your first time laying eyes on one of this magnitude. You know this to be an astrolabe. You've only seen this a few times in a couple of your professor's rooms when you were in Gendro. But they're normally like a little globe with different, almost like rotating rings, and then other smaller globes around that seem to spin. The astrolabes are used by wizards and arcane people of the sort to basically measure and study the transition of the stars and the I can't think of the word right now, like as they move. And this entire one in this room, it is the entire room.
It's astronomy, pretty much.
Kind of,
Study
yes. The entire room is an astrolabe. This huge beam is the size of the domed room as it rests upon the other side. You can see other ones sliding up before they stop. And you can see little paintings on them of different stars and different worlds on the entire astrolabe. With, you said 22? You looking at these, just from the quick glance of these stained glass windows around, you can see that they're stained glass, but they're slowly moving and morphing and changing. You can see one that looks to be almost like a wintry scape of like a mountaintop. Another one like a hot desert where the sun is slowly like dimming and the orange fades into a red, and different greens of jungles and all different colors all around the room. But as your eyes rest upon this navy blue desk, you can see the top of it is very neatly organized. It hosts but a single name tag and an ink and quill. One piece of parchment that barely curls at the corner. You can see a figure sitting there behind the desk. They lick their thumb and they press down the little curled corner as their piercing blue eyes rise to meet yours. You can see Civius Helgulius. Male blue tiefling, kind of similar to Ace. You can see one black braided beard just off of the chin. Do you want to approach?
I will be walking slowly, but yes, I will approach.
Yeah, you approach. Yeah, coming up to this desk, you can see your father sitting behind, sporting almost like there's white fur, but it's not he's not like a peacock. You know what I mean? So it's a very, very subtle, but his posture is nice, and a nice slat like slate gray robe before he picks up. Kind of moves his glasses down a little bit.
When I get closer, like to talk in a normal voice, I'll be like, "Hello, Father."
Who might this be?
Benedict, Battlebeard, sir. Battlebeard.
It's okay to be nervous.
Baby.
Father, I
Kind of gives you a nod.
brought Benedict. There's things we need to speak of. I apologize for being tardy for so long, but time is of the essence.
It is good to see you, son.
It's good to see you too.
When have you last spoke to Lilith?
I saw her last night, and she urged me to come here as soon as possible.
Yes, I know you two are in town with your two friends. I've been keeping an eye on you.
I think we may need to cut to the chase, Father. What do you know and what don't you know?
Of what?
You've been watching us. I think you know what we believe. Is that true or not?
Well, I know that you've been in town, although I have not heard anything that you've been saying.
What have you heard of the Northeast?
Newid's Cross.
I
I hear many things. I hear there is a rumor that you four were spotted there. Very curious hearing of my son being in the middle of a heated battle. Although I thought he was a drunkard, run off to have his way with his wenches. I can see that is funny.
give you a
I
sec.
think they got the sun's mixed up.
Benedict Battlebeard, where do you hail from?
Gamdrill, sir.
Aye, and you are a wizard.
I am. Wizard Deep now.
I see that. Well, what do you wish to know?
It's not what Lilith urged me to come here because we have been talking of what has been happening. I know your study has always been a place of safety, but are you sure? I can speak and no one may hear.
Aye.
There's something coming, Father. Out of all you know about me, I may have not always have succeeded, but I hope you know I've always told the truth on what I believe and what I've seen. We were in New Wheat's Cross, and it's destroyed. We were there when we were at the top of the tower, top of the walls, and we looked out into the night sky, and there was not hundreds, there wasn't thousands, there was tens of thousands undead coming to pillage New Wheat's Cross. There are many magical things that possibly you may know and may be able to help us, and that is why Lilith has urged us to come to you, because we were not 4 days ago in Gemdrill when the undead army was closing in on Gemdrill. I believe you know how far away Gemdrill is from the capital.
Yes, it is 136 miles.
Do you believe me that the undead is coming? If not, I don't know what else we can do.
Well, I will say this. Aster Belioth came to me not a 10-day ago. That is where I first heard of the news of Newid's Cross. He recounts the four of you helping defend the city from an army of ex-animate. You say there is undead. I will ask you once, and he looks you in the eyes. Is what he says true?
I don't know what Aster Belioth has said, but from the time we've met him, I would believe what he said is true.
Yeah, he said there was an army of...
Well, I don't know if he said anything else.
That is all I needed to hear. I must warn you, it is of great wisdom that you keep these truths to yourself upon your arrival. As a Lormo would know, word travels fast here. No one to trust. Upon every street is a watchful eye. I myself was keeping an eye on you, and you were none the wiser.
I believe you that these things were happening. I have heard words and rumors from multiple different sources. I also heard that it's not only happening in New Eats Cross.
Eastern? Southern? Where at?
Mostly Eastern. There's merchant ships being raided on the eastern shores by weird figures, although I'm not sure how these words get out because apparently no one survives. If no one survives, where are the stories coming from?
I think it's one of those sayings, Father. I would say no one survived New Wheat's Cross, even though we made it out. Obviously, there's some that can rifle away, but New Wheat's Cross itself did not survive.
You can see he's like very unmoving, and at times he's like not meeting your guys' gazes, but then when he does, it's like he's peering into your soul. But he kind of leads forward. As for Asta, against my pressing advice, he insisted on reporting his encounters to the council. But I have not heard from his whereabouts ever since he walked out that door. You can see he points towards the teleportation circle. May we, gestures towards you, speak in private?
Sure. Where can I, just want to take the circle?
You can see he kind of waves his hand, and you can see almost like a aura of sorts kind of forms like a wall. It kind of gestures for you to walk out of it. Wobble over, is it?
It's just a death.
You can hear
You're banished.
you can hear the as one of the arms of the astrolabe starts to swing up. It almost looks like it has a planet on it as it starts to swing, and you can hear him pick up again. Well, as we were saying, Ace, before it forms, and it's like drowned out. You can't hear anything they're saying. Then you just hear the astrolabe, and it's quiet. But you can see them talking inside. I fear Asta may have fallen into the clutches of Giovanni and the monarch minority. You have been traveling with the son of Heraldine. Can he be trusted?
We were talking about this last night. What's the group we met? The, not Green Cloaks, but the ones in town?
Monarch Minority?
No.
Crystal Crusade?
We've had a couple party members talk to the Crystal Crusade, and to our understanding, 3 of the council members seem to be corrupt. We know it is the 2 Pengroves, that is obvious, and ourselves and our party last night were talking about Chad's father. I do believe Chad can be trusted. I've seen him die from a death knight in New Wheat's Cross, come back alive.
You can see him. It doesn't get much emotion out of him, but after you mention that, he kind of peeks his head back a little bit.
I mean, he's healed our wounds. He's fought on the fronts with the undead with us. And the biggest thing is, when we were in New Wheat's Cross, Chad tried to get killed, just like all of us, from Pastorus Cracker, which I know you know to be a man of Giovanni Pengrove's. I'm not saying Chad's father is clean, but I don't think Chad has any, at the moment at least, involvement. It does worry me, perchance, being Chad I think's only been gone about a month from the capital. I don't know if the corruption lies, but I truthfully believe in my heart that Chad is to be trusted.
Even after just meeting him not a week ago.
You know, Father, there are some experiences that transcend time. And what we have gone through, from the battle of New Wheat, the slaughter of New Wheat's Cross, to a death knot bringing us all within an inch of our life, even killing Shad, to a Dracolich chasing us down to God knows how we're alive, and coming to all the events that we've had, I believe those events transcend time, and I would put my faith in him.
Aye. And what of Wendell? Have you attempted to... I have attempted to reach him, but to no avail.
Who's Wendell again?
Wendell Bartram.
Oh, Lord Barkstrom. The last I saw of him, he was defending New Wheat's Cross. He was a great man when we met him, but the amount of people that got out alive was few and far and rather slim, I hate to say.
And you mentioned this Pastivus fellow. I've tried to speak with the Pengroves on his term in the New Wheat's Cross, but they are cautious to the subject, keeping a tight lip as always.
Pastivus Cracker, we confronted him when he was about to kill Lord Barkstrom. If it wasn't, I'll point at Benedict. For Benedict's quick thinking, Barkstrom would have died then and there. Pastivus Cracker, I don't know the correct term, if he's some morphling or something, but he had turned into a giant vulture and tried to attack us. Humanoid vulture-like creature. And I know we spied on him, and he seemed to be talking to someone who we believe is Giovanni at night.
Yes, I have had my suspicions of Pastivus and the workings of Giovanni himself.
I think
Lowers the audible. You may approach.
I think there's one thing that may clear some things up. I showed these to Lilith last night, and she couldn't make twice ends around what they possibly could be, besides they are dark. I'm going to show you these, and I believe after you see him, we'll have to talk about what Giovanni's doing and how he may be connected to this undead. And I'm going to reach out, and I'm going to unroll the daggers in front of him. Please don't touch, but please inspect.
You can see where some people have like a visceral reaction when they see them. And this man being very adept in the arcane, as you suppose. You kind of lay them out on the desk and you just unmoving. Pulls out a little drawer. You can see almost like a metal rod that starts to glow orange as he waves it over. Shuts the drawer. Man.
Every one of our party members that have touched him has gotten visions, and this Death Knight invades their dreams perchance, but I know you know these better than anyone that I would ever know, Father. If you think you can, please.
You can see him reach out his blue, almost tiefling hand with his nails. Picks one up. Smashes it on the desk. You can see the entire knife shatters like glass. And where it all shatters and goes flying all over the desk onto the ground, just leaves the orange gem sitting on his paper. He picks up the gem. I believe this is what you're looking for.
Do you know what these are?
I know of it, although I do know somebody who can answer that question for you. May I ask where you found these?
I found one in Fogsfield.
A crypt, an altar.
Lays it on the desk.
In the
The
middle
party
of a
before
bog.
they had me found one in Fogsfield in a crypt. In New Wheat's Cross, the Death Knight was going for another one, and we were able to take it away and make out our way out.
In the middle of a bog.
In the middle of a bog, we found it. Which one was that?
The one on the way to
So you found them here. You can see him wave two fingers.
Yeah,
you
I'll
can see
point
the
at
astrolabe.
Fogsfield, New Wheat's Cross, Hollow Grove.
You can see the astrolabe as one of the arms comes right behind him. You can see a map of the Empire. Not dissimilar to this, but you can see the lines are almost like a blue arcane almost energy. And he waves another hand. Would you say here? And you can see red X's. You can see one there. You can see one there. You can see one here. You can see one here.
Yeah, where's the sixth one, big dog?
And that is it. Would you say these are the positions?
I'm curious to know, how do we know there were 6? Not outside.
You were told that there were 7
Yeah.
by Wolfwin Wixius.
Oh. I'm a little confused, Father. I see 5 dots on this map of 5 daggers that I know about, But Wolfwind Wixius himself, I forgot to mention that, told us there's 7 of them. Is there more you know that you aren't showing?
Wolfwind Wixius told you.
Wolfwind Wixius. I know, Father, like I said, I'm not the best man, but you know me to be a man. I mean it. It's the truth. When we were at...
I'll hold up my spell book. This is his spell book.
In Gemdril, we went, not the most lawful of means, into the Wixius Athenaeum, and I don't know what you know, but that library is a burnt crisp. There's nothing inside at all. There's the statue of Wolfwind himself, the crystal gem with his book inside, and when we touched it with magic, we were transported, I don't know even how to say, possibly a different dimension, where Wolfwind Wixius was there himself. To him, not a day has passed since he's been gone, but obviously on the outside world, hundreds of years have passed. And him himself, he didn't tell us the most, but he told us there's 7 of these, and we shouldn't let them fall into the wrong hands.
Aye, well, it doesn't surprise me that you are meddling with things that you weren't supposed to be. I am indeed in charge of the defense of the Athenaeum, and I myself have looked through the Athenaeum and through its ashes. The only thing I found was his tome being left in the gem. Forgive me, but I'm a bit taken aback that you have it on your person, as I am solely in charge of protecting it.
Perhaps you know Benedict's parents.
The protectors of the Athenaeum.
They
Past
died.
protecting it.
What are the names?
I got no fucking clue.
What's my mother's name?
Get the notes.
That's a good one.
Little parched after that?
You a little nervous, dog.
Sam's sweating for him.
Well, while you figure that out, he pipes up again. I do know of these items here. He kind of gestures towards that orange gem. I do know, at least I think I know what it might be. Although, as I was saying, I do know somebody who could answer that question for you. Look for a Bezdrun Baldric.
Yeah, okay.
Look for a Bezdrun Baldric.
Where's this bedroom Baldric?
You'll find him in the Amber Isles.
Could you tell us anything that you possibly do know, Father? I want to try to sum it up. I want to explain how they have the visions of the Death Knight, the glowing green skull, and the Arcanists. This is what I know.
Well, I probably have the most extensive knowledge, other than our High Arcanist, Acrisius, on the Arcanists of old, and the Wardens of Ikran. But for now, we'll keep that to myself.
Do you know my parents, Ursi and Marvin? Battlebeard?
I do know them. Yes.
Crazy.
They died defending the Athenaeum. During the Defenders.
I'm a little taken aback, Father. There's an undead army coming. Giovanni Pengrove himself has one of the daggers right now. To you, it's not a dagger, it's just a gem. The undead army's on the way. In my opinion, Basinport is corrupt, being 3 of the 5. I know not you, and I know not someone else. Okay. Why are we... What is... Lilith urged me to come here, Father. She said you would know or have a plan or anything. Do you have anything? Do you care? Or are you just telling us to go off to the Amber Isles as the undead army approaches? If that's what you tell, that is what I will do. But do you have any plan for this, Father? Or do you just believe it hearsay?
As I said before, Miss Watch, who you talk to in the city and where you speak of these things. as I mentioned before, there's always a watchful eye. Not in this room per se. I do know that this is safe. That is why we are having this conversation. However, it seems you two, if not you four, are not against meddling in things the normal shell normally not should be.
Are you saying perhaps we should just give the undead these daggers, not done what we did to keep 4 of them out of their hands? I apologize, Father, for speaking out of turn, but I don't know why, if you have information, you would keep it in the times like these.
Do you know what this is? Kind of reaches into his neck, pulls out a necklace. You can see an ivory goat.
Shepherd himself has one. Theovar told him to speak with you about that.
The ivory Agus.
The ivory Agus.
Theovar himself.
Our shepherd friend, Kaladin Northright, was almost raised by... Fuck, what's his name? I keep thinking dipshit, dog. By Theovar himself, and we were up in Valewood for a meeting with them not 2 days ago.
And did they indoctrinate you into the ivory Agus?
Did they indoctrinate you?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, they gave me the amulet to present to somebody, but
I would say... Yes, Theovar did. I apologize being Kaladin ain't here. I forgot to mention that. But yes, Theovar gave the goat to Kaladin, the shepherd in our party, and he told him to show it to Civius Helgilius in the capital.
It was actually Barsham who gave it to you, and then Audemar told you to bring it to Civius. Yeah. But, yes. Well, that clears a little bit of things up. Well, as you know, the 3 heads of the Ivory Agus, that being the High Warden of Ikron, Acrisius. Yep. I keep mixing up Civius and Acrisius. Acrisius. And Lady Lithandria and Theovar himself. They are the 3 heads of the Ivory Agus. If they indoctrinated you, I'm sure they gave you the spiel upon our roguish archetype, if you will. It gives a little bit of a smirk, like you never see him really smirk. But it's almost like his body language after you mention that you were alleviates a little bit. Well, then I feel much more comfortable opening up, as if my higher-ups entrust you. Then I may place my entrust upon you to do such tasks. To everything you have spoken of, yes, I do know of it. Obviously, I do not want the entire empire to be overrun by Exanimate. That being said, I answer to Acrisius, one of the 3 heads of the Ivory Agus. I'm assuming you answer to Theovar.
Kaladin. Yeah, we answer to Theovar. I'll bite my tongue as I say it.
Then Theovar would have told you what the plan is.
Theovar's plan is to sit as thousands die, waiting for the time to strike. Do you believe that is correct as well?
Yes, I believe that is our plan. May I remind you, if you are part of the Ivory Agus, you are in it for life. You do not leave. What the 3 heads think is the one mind, and we all think.
Well, maybe it'd be good for you to know then, even though Theovar is not who you answer to, he gave us free reign to do as much as us 4 can in this problem as the rest of them wait.
Aye, and it seems you have done that. May I ask a favor then? If these are your orders.
A favor, I'd love some information, but if it is part of this, then yes, it's something we probably can do.
Giovanni Pengrove does have one of these items you so seek. I believe, after watching, keeping a prying eye from a distance, I believe he keeps it in his home quarters. I suggest sneaking in there, as I have not really found a opportune way for myself to retrieve such an item. but it seems the retrieval has landed at my doorstep. I suggest you retrieve this item. I also suggest you keep these safe. And maybe go down to the Amber Isles and see if you can ask some questions, get some answers further about what they are. I have my suspicions, although I believe Bezdrun can answer any question you have about these items.
Can I ask why you're able to touch this while anyone who else I've known's touched them have gotten a massive shock to their system, per se?
Well, probably because I'm the smartest man in the arcane arts in the entire empire, aside from Acrisius.
Humble. Fair.
Aside from that,
Killed it.
I do believe that this undead is sweeping the empire, and I would like, aside from my better judgment, to take action. The apple does not fall far from the tree. However, there are those people who know best. They have been here for quite a while, pre-defendants, as I have not. They know best. I have spoken to Acrisius himself, being here from pre-defendants, and he has told me this is not very dissimilar in any fact of the happenings leading up to the defendants. There's something going on here, something that I was not told to meddle in, so I will not. However, there are answers out there. If you so wish, I can line up some people to answer those questions for you, if you like to get to the bottom of this, if you will. However, for now, my orders are to stay here, take care of the capital, and keep a close, watchful eye on the monarch minority. It seems the monarch minority, in the height of all this, and this is coming from Acrisius himself, which comes from the triad meeting of the three heads of the Ivory Agus. They suspect that Giovanni, although we don't know the reasons, is trying to throw a wrench in the Empire's plans, guiding the new faith in the way of Joaquin to keep the Empire from banding together, from using gods like Helm and Tyr and Eldath to join together under an iron fist, as you know, King Hyman Zephyr II led the army pre-defendants. It seems Giovanni, for whatever reason, is trying to prevent this from happening. And his way of doing that is corrupting the council. That I am on.
Do you know if Momo is on the side of good or evil on this one?
I believe Haroldine is weak of mind. Haroldine, although maybe a man of standing here in the Empire, wouldn't be able to turn left if he told himself. I'm not sure.
What is your take on, what's the other guy's name?
Dildrum Donward?
Yeah.
I believe Dildrum is a good man. He hails from Gildevane. He is the newest of our acquaintances, and he wishes the best for his people. And I believe he is a strong tie to Gildevane itself, and that being the race of dwarves in the Empire, for however much there are.
I have two more questions if you'd be willing to try to answer them. Father, I know how this conversation's going. I don't believe you may, but can I ask why you showed the locations of 5 daggers, the 5 I so happen to know about, but 2 seem to be missing? Is this because you do not know and we just happen to know the same, or is this something you're choosing not to tell us?
How do you know that there is 7?
Like I told you myself, Wolfwind Wixius, who you know, I feel I can believe his words, has told me there are 7 of them.
And how does he know of there being 7?
You know, Father, that...
Well, I will say you said earlier, you know, I explained fucking blah, 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 blah. When you spoke to Wolfwind Wixius, he mentioned the Circle of the Dawn Martyrs, or the Golden Martyrs? One of the 2.
Golden, yeah.
Circle of the Golden Martyrs. So they were loyal to King Hyman Zephyr II, and they are the people who took these items of his, or whatever, and basically disappeared.
Yeah.
So when you're
Their
finding
life to
them,
guard them.
yeah, when you're finding them, they're loyal to King Hyman Zephyr II. So I'll say you say that to him.
Okay, that's what I'll say.
As I said before, yes, Bezdrun knows best. He knows this on the matter. If you're looking for any information on him, he was the right-hand man of King Hyman Zephyr II himself. He will be able to answer any questions you have of the Golden Martyrs if you explain to him our situation. And then from there you may find the other two, or discover what is to be done about these, because after some thought, I don't even know what to do with these.
So you don't know whether we will talk to Beldrick about possibly the other two. I would hate for you to know there'd be somewhere where the undead could get to them before us, before we get to Beldrick, is the only reason I ask. I know you're not supposed to meddle, but do you believe it'll be safe to wait to talk to Beldrick?
I'll leave that up to your discretion. We have thought and discussed over the fact that I believe we have to proceed even under the circumstance that the enemy already has their hands on two of them. And if that were so, they are, would you say, searching to find the other ones? So it seems the enemy is already out and searching. The other two could easily be in their hands. The other two could be hidden. We don't know where they are. They could be destroyed. But I think we need to learn what these things are, and then we can move from there.
Being you are, as you said yourself, one of the highest, if not the second most highest man in Arcane, would you have any way or form of travel to Beldrick that may be easy for us to get there, being we are a good 5-6 days ride out?
I can send you to the Amber Isles.
I think we'll do the deed we so talked about. And where would you like us to meet us? It might be a little hot and heavy if something goes wrong, as we're taking said item from Giovanni.
Well, there is a teleportation circle there. You could just use those.
There's a teleportation in the Amber House. Can Benedict do that without ever being there?
You'd have to roll like a D100 and check.
Well, that is good to know. We'll do a teleportation circle if needed. If not, if everything does go smooth, possibly we could talk to you, make sure this goes off without a hitch.
I will be here.
I hate... I've never asked for this before, and it pains me to do so. I don't want any handouts, but with your knowledge, would you know of anything that would help our party? We have a paladin, we have a bard, we have a wizard, and you know of me as a rogue. Would you have anything that would combat undead that you believe could help us? If not, do not worry. Just a man of your stature, I thought I'd check.
No.
I didn't think so.
Is that all?
I'll just
take the gold then.
I believe that is all. I do have, on my way out though, I'm going to ask him one question. I'll start walking out. You fine walking out?
Yep.
Do you have any questions?
Not really. I pretty much sensed what I needed to sense.
I'm like, so that's really true, Father. You wouldn't want to tell us this just because I'm your son. You would have only told us this because we're in the Ivory Agus. Is that correct?
Don't take it the wrong way if you were any other child of mine. The way I see it, it's the defense of the entire empire, of which I am solely in charge of defending the capital of it, versus even the word of my son. I answer to Acrisius, that of which you would not know because you never graduated. But I'm sure you can understand.
Dude, this guy just fucking goes for the kill shot. I'm not gonna say anything else. I'm fucking done with this guy. I'm walking out.
Have a good day.
He's gonna go sulk.
This guy.
I nod and walk out as well.
I don't know.
Yeah, you walk up to teleportation circle again. It fills.
Oh yeah, we're gonna walk out.
You're back in the other room.
I'll walk. I'm obviously, as Johnny said, I'm pretty pissed. Fuck this
He's gonna
guy.
go find a tree.
So I'll just say, we'll just go wait at the fountain, I suppose.
Yeah, I let him aside.
I'm gonna be watching for them if there's any chance we'd catch them before they go.
Yeah. Walk out towards the fountain. You two,
Mm-hmm.
as you arrive in Halcyon Plaza, Chad leading the way to the Gilded Gallery. Not a few turns here and there through the plaza itself, the fountains and the water. You can hear it splashing in the pools. The nice sun on your shoulders and on your head. It feels a little bit better up here, Caladan, because there's a little bit less people about.
Nice.
But for from the times you've been in Halcyon Plaza, you've seen a maroon peak that rises above the surrounding rooftops. But now, as you join the scattered few throughout this verdant plaza, your gaze rises to a gargantuan building. You can see steps that ascend to pillars the size of redwoods that hold an impossibly large pediment stained maroon. Do you want to approach?
What the hell's a pediment?
It's like the triangle part of a building.
Oh,
Like on the Washington Monument or whatever.
would I
whatever
recognize
it is.
this as my father's place?
Yes.
Okay. Then
Just be
yes,
like-
I will approach.
This is where he lived.
Okay.
Yeah. Stepping up. You step into.
I'll take like a deep breath before like actually ascending the stairs. Just like, like like just like doing this again.
You step into a well-crafted but jumbled space, as if the owner hasn't the slightest clue of interior design. The sound of soft harp bounces throughout. Floating bars of light slowly drift near the ceiling. The shining marble floor extends through this huge open hall that could court a meeting of giants. Two staircases curve up on the far side, up to a balcony over a stage on the back. The hall is filled with aisles of 20-foot-tall glass shelving, marble flats magically suspended in space with various curios atop, and a menagerie of countless other items. You know, if you go to the back, up the steps, that's where your living quarters is.
Oh, you're this family's just bougie.
Yeah. We're only up here because we're rich, not because we're smart. I'll lead him.
Yeah?
I'll just look and see if there's anything like new that he might have acquired.
You see a couple things, and near towards the back, kind of on top of the stage, you can see a huge, almost like the pillars out front, on its side, that seems to be held aloft by like two ornate sawhorses, if you will, and it's covered in almost a leather wrap.
Interesting.
Yeah? You want to approach his office?
Yeah.
Yeah, walking through the halls, Caladan, it's very kind of quiet. You can see dark, almost shiny, like it's been waxed too many times, dark oak flooring with nice a red carpet that goes and then cuts at a 90-degree down these hallways. But you can approach one of the doors on your right. As you walk past them, there's a couple doors, but then you reach this one, and it's the double-sided, and it looks like the framing of it is like almost like a curvature, kind of like an onion that comes to a point. You can see the gold knocker on the door.
I'd say before like any like decision making or action, I'm just taking a little bit longer to like make the decisions. Almost like I'm not wanting to be here, but understand it needs to be done. I'll just.
Do you think maybe you need to knock a little harder?
You can hear. Door opens, and you can see a man. Not dissimilar to Chad, although a little bit more bulbous. You can see a male red tiefling with a huge belly. You can see a red jacket with gold jewelry all over. And under his undergarments are almost a red and white that goes down to his striped leggings and his almost suspenders that seem to be trying to cover up with his jacket, down to these overtly shiny black boots with a nice golden shiny buckle. As he opens it, kind of peers out, looks you up and down. He's like, "May I help you?"
Pleasure meeting you, sir. Are you Haroldine?
"I am." "Chad, my boy!" Kind of like swings past you.
Like halfway I'm bowing, I imagine.
He goes to pick you up, and he like swirls you around a little bit, sets you down. "Please, come in. Any friend of Chad is a friend of mine." Shuts the door behind. "Please, I'll get you some food." And he walks over. In his office itself, you can see a nice
I'll be like
oak
completely
desk.
taken aback. Like this is a complete opposite of what I thought. I'm gonna be like,
You can see a nice oak desk and his chair that seems to be like almost a pale, almost like everything around here has gold filigree on it. It's way ornate than it should be.
Like way too much money for his own good.
Yeah, and then behind it you can see glass cases with multiple different scrolls that seem to have like a wax, almost golden wax seal on them. Off to the left and the right you can see a globe spinning, but everything, like the chandelier, the lights, the candelabras, all of it is like a shiny gold with like accents of red here and there. You can get the sense that he has like this red theme going on, but he steps over, kind of opens the globe. "Well, we have bread here. I think it's time for a good old whiskey, you know? Kind of just get some glasses going."
I'm gonna be like looking at you the whole time.
"Ah, here you are."
Just like
Sets it
almost
down.
embarrassed kind of
You
look.
can see he flips open the top of a glass. It seems to be like a dragon mouth as he pours it up. "Ah, here you are." Grabs some tongs. He opens a slot on his desk that slides open. You can see almost like if you have dried ice that leaves the fog, but it's almost like a magical fog that flows out of it as he picks up two metal balls, drops them in. "There. Those will keep your glasses cold for an entire week." Shuts it and goes and puts the stuff away. "What can I help you for, sir?" "I'm sorry, my boy Chad. I just haven't seen him in like a week. What may I do you for?"
Well, I was just here with Chad. I've gotten to know your son very well over the course of it's only been a week.
"Ah, yes. He left not a 10-day ago."
Yeah, so he might, mainly we're here because he might have some things he either wanted to talk to you about or ask you about.
Please ask away."
Is this I can't, just out of like context. Is this like?
Can I also do like a perception or insight check to see if
Yeah,
this-
go ahead.
Okay.
Is this like magically protected or anything of that sort? Or?
Not that you know of.
Okay.
Yeah, this can move this place is ward.
10.
What are you trying to find out?
If I don't know, anything's off.
I would die.
Or
Everything.
I don't know. You're kind of taken aback because I don't know what you expected walking in, but you're just kind of soaking it in.
okay.
Please,
I think I
may
would've-
I ask your name? "I'm Haroldine."
I am Shepherd Caladan Northwhite.
You shake his hand.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll extend my arm.
"Oh, you're a shepherd.
Yes.
Oh, good man on you. Good on you. Please take a seat.
I would have locked the door as like we walked in.
Okay. He rounds the desk, goes to sit down. "Please tell me, Cedric, what have you been up to?"
Well,
What do you call you?
So you sent me to Fogsfield.
"I did, yes. And did you retrieve this item?"
You never sent me to retrieve an item.
"I did."
You sent me to get rid of rumors. No items were discussed.
I'll lean back heavy in my chair.
I've said this out loud before.
Well, did you find an item there?
What item? I mean, there's all sorts of items everywhere.
I'm very invested in this conversation. So like when Chad's talking, I'm staring him down.
Well, I was told there was items that others were looking for. As you know, I'm in charge of finding various curios about. I recently just had some aristocrats from Waterstone Harbor step into my office not a few hours ago. I sold them some magnificent shipwrecks. But if you say you didn't find anything...
Well, we might have found something, but I don't know what you were looking for, so I can't...
Well, if you didn't find it, then I guess it was not of import to find.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would have it here in the Gilded Gallery. Have you been here before, Mr. Caladan?
No, I have not, but it seems you take a liking to many things.
I do. Take a look at this right here. You can see him kind of open his glass case. As he pulls out almost like an ink and quill, but there's only fur like on the last bit. Do you know what this is right here?
An ink and quill? Is that what you said? Yeah.
Like
I was just like, yeah, I'll say that.
This is a very, very curious item. This I found on another continent. Me, myself, at a young age, not much different from Cedric's himself now. I purchased this off of my professor. That's probably worth more than your armor.
I'll, like, look it up and down. Well, I don't think that's very, like, just seeing how it's beaten and battered. I don't think that's very hard to do. Caladan's not a materialistic person as well, so this is very, like...
more expensive nonetheless.
Well, let's just say I believe you.
Well, here in the Gilded Gallery, we put things up for auction and all, but we also make a lot of sales. I'm always looking for curios. If there's anything you would find rather rare on your person, I would be very much interested in purchasing it off of you.
Well, I will keep that in mind, but I do just have a quick question. What was the item you were seeking that you sent your son to me? I don't think he ever mentioned it during our adventures.
Well, I heard that Citadel Structar was down the grapevine looking for an item there. I actually wasn't able to figure out what it was myself. But they said it was of import, and they sent one of their best to go retrieve it. So, I mean, I thought I sent Chad to do that, but I guess I didn't. But if it was not there, then it wasn't there.
Yeah. So, I got a question for you.
Yes?
What have you heard of Nuit's Cross?
Terrible things, yes. I hear it was overrun, yes?
By what?
Well, you were there, from what I hear. What was it overrun by?
Well, I'm curious to see if our stories are the same. That's why I'm asking.
I've heard multiple things. I've heard that it was marauders. I've heard that it was undead.
Because we were there, me and Caladan, and a few others.
So you saw it firsthand?
Yes. And it was destroyed by an undead army. Completely destroyed.
Oh my.
By multiple thousands.
Well, did my son, did he hold his own in the heat of battle?
And I'll like pull my collar down.
Even
to
up
like
to his...
the massive, like, just disgustingly healed scar and stuff.
And I'll, like, acknowledge it, but even up to his very last breath, yes.
Oh my. He kind of steps up and goes to, like, rub his hand over it, like, oh, are you okay?
I actually died, Father.
What?
But we had a very powerful healer bring him back from the dead. After he
Oh my goodness.
protected or fought with
So,
us.
I should have kept you here.
With that, you know, we're a little past that. But with that being said, the whole reason you sent me out was to dispel the rumors of an undead army.
But it appears they aren't so.
They are not rumors, obviously. So I was curious, what do you know more about this?
Well, I was told this by our great council member, Giovanni himself.
What'd he tell you?
Well, he said that these were rumors. There were marauders up there trying to, just basic rebel, a marauder, whatever you want to call them, bandits, just kind of rousing the town, causing a nuisance, and it needed to be taken care of. But from the sounds of it, he was very much wrong.
Yeah. So would you say you side with most of what he says, or?
Well, obviously it's not true.
Well, I'm just saying, like, up until now, with this information, would you say, like, you've usually been pretty trusting of him? Like, obviously everything with a grain of salt, but I mean, like, at face value, you would take it initially.
Well, there are 5 of us on the council, and that's the reason. It's 5 on the council, so no one man can make a decision, a wrong decision or a right one.
Much like Heraldine. No, sorry, that's my name. King Hyman Zephyr II.
Okay. Cause it seems like Giovanni hasn't been doing so many good things. That's why I'm curious as where you stand with that. Because it seems like in New Week's Cross, the city was controlled by the New Faith, and they were trying to silence those who believed differently.
Yes. Well, I would say the New Faith has done us a lot of good. Put the clothes on your back, paid for my entire auction house here.
So you're bought out?
I wouldn't say bought out. We've made this money ourselves.
Well, I understand that, but the New Faith is also trying to silence this army. So it sounds like you're taking monetary value over human life.
I wouldn't go that
Well,
far.
I'm not saying, I'm just saying it seems like it.
Well, yes, all of this is true. The New Faith has done us some good, whereas, from what you speak of, the New Faith seems to be trying to keep things hush-hush. Whether that is the right thing to do or not, I mean, I am not a militaristic man. I could not say. Could you?
Could I say what?
That an army is needed on our end to repel this invasion.
I would definitely say that if that army hits this city, you're gonna need a miracle almost. I've never seen.
Well, I mean,
like
I
this.
haven't seen it with my own eyes. But if you have, then I guess it must be true, no?
I've been killed by it.
We have
All
single-handedly
truth.
watched an ethereal or undead army completely decimate New Week's Cross. And not only that, they have extremely powerful leaders. And then I'll tell them about the Dracolich that destroyed the town as well. And then as soon as we found another as soon as we were looking for something, we got attacked by the Dracolich again. So it's making its way across the Empire.
So what is it you wish to do here in Basinport?
I don't know if necessarily we need to chase it down because we don't know where the army is currently. This was a few days ago, obviously with the New Week's Cross, but I definitely think defenses need to be taken in case they do show up here. There's a lot of innocent people here that can't protect themselves.
So it sounds like what you're alluding to is having Giovanni not make the decisions.
Not necessarily. I'm just hoping that you are making ones not solely based off monetary value. Because I know you tend to get caught up in the money. I understand that. I'm not judging that. I'm just saying, obviously you have plenty of money right now. Maybe using your power now for the greater good is maybe needed in these times.
Aye. Yes, times are crazy, as of the past few days, and I feel the ones leading up into the future. The capital itself, aside from everything going on outside, seems to be in a bit of a rustle. Would you say my son is somewhat of a physical matters.
You mean fighting?
Fighting and things of the sort. Anything to, you know.
I've seen your son in many scenarios prove himself plenty worthy.
Is that so?
He says it.
I knew he would. That's my boy.
That is why he even stands here today, even after all that's happened to him.
Well,
As I understand, I didn't necessarily leave on the best of terms with you, given.
no, it's all water under the bridge, my boy.
Yeah.
Well, the reason I ask. There's something you could do for me.
What is that?
That would also be helping you yourselves. It has to do with the Eldath Accords.
And what about this Eldath Accord?
Well, if you so choose that Giovanni shouldn't be making the decisions around here, you can do something about that. You need to stage a robbery.
Okay.
Stage a robbery.
Yes.
I guess I am confused.
You need to stage a robbery of the Gilded Gallery. Here. Our auction house. Stage a robbery. You must break into the Gilded Gallery and steal the scepter of the Eldath Accords. As you know, these Accords are likely going to go into effect, or as many people would wish for them to go into effect. I need you to leave clues as to lead the council into believing that the citizens do not want this treaty. Stage it as if the citizens broke in, stole the scepter, because they do not want it. If you do this, then it will delay the Accords, and the Accords being something that could give Giovanni more power.
Would that not also make the people look bad? Because he already has soldiers enforcing a curfew.
Yes, well, if this treaty does go through, then Giovanni would be getting more power, and then he would really be able to do anything that he wants. Whereas, me being on the council myself, if I tried to convince the council to do this, I'm only one man. Whereas if we stage robbery, and that I would be able to plead the case that the citizens also do not want this treaty to go through. And there are many on the council that may follow my lead.
And you believe you're persuasive enough?
I believe so. This will be enough to aid my persuasion to the council.
Okay. And how would you say we do this robbery then?
I would wait for the cover of night, you being a bard much as yourself, and with the help of your dragonborn friend here. Sneak up here during night. It's if I might say so myself, not terrible to slip the fingers of the butchermen themselves. Slip past them, stage robbery in the Gilded Gallery, you being very knowledgeable of our estate. You can easily draw up a plan. You don't need to tell me any details. Probably the less I know is the better. I just need to approach, find it in a state of disdain, the scepter missing, and whatever clues you leave to citizens doing this, I present this to the council. They see that the citizens do not want the treaty. I can plead that. I can be 1/5 of the pie that decides that we do not want the treaty.
Could I do an insight check to see if he has ulterior motives with
Yeah,
this?
go ahead.
I don't know, it's never good when you want it to be good.
I know.
It's such bullshit. I would like to investigate
Selective
the
dice.
room that I know nothing's changed. Natural 20.
Walking through a cave. Yeah,
So-
can I do an investigation check?
Would my passive insight being higher than what I rolled, does that mean anything?
No.
Alright, well, it's an 8 then.
An 8? Seems like he's speaking the truth.
Okay.
You know your dad, you know how he talks. You do pick up on something. He is acting probably a little bit strangely than you expected, but you suspect that might be because Caladan's in the room.
Okay. So if we do go through with this robbery,
Just wait till night to do that.
there will have to be destruction within here to make it seem believable.
Yes.
I'm just making sure you're aware of that.
No, we can fix it up anytime we want. Actually, the skylight on the northeastern side I've been wanting to change for quite a while. Please destroy that. Plus, we have insurances. I actually wouldn't be paying anything out of my own pocket.
Yeah, I was just about to say this almost just sounds like insurance fraud.
Well, we don't say that here.
But
I guess with that, would you have anything that could help us? That you
with
would
the
be
robbery?
This is a good idea.
Just in general.
No, what do you need?
Kaladin, you know if you need anything?
like items.
Yeah, I don't know.
I will ask you this: how have your travels been? I wish to hear of my boy's travels over the region.
Eventful. I think that sums up a lot of it.
Okay.
Very eventful.
Where have you been?
Well, we started at Fogsfield, made our way all the way through to New Wheats Cross, and then we went to Gemdrill with a couple of our other friends, and we've been many places. And I'm like, I'll be like rubbing the boots, my metal plate boots, and they haven't been easy either, per se.
Not far west at all, but a lot of east.
And have you done some window shopping?
A little bit here and there.
Yeah, when we did come into town in Masonport, there was this beautiful sword that I've only heard tales about. But everything else is quite unaffordable, so...
Well, you didn't buy the sword?
No. What do you mean? It was, what was it, 70,000 gold?
Only 70,000?
Only 70,000. Excuse me for not... I am not a materialistic person by any means, but...
I'll give you that.
Why? Why would you give me 70,000?
I never said I was going to give you 70,000 gold.
No, he's saying like he understands what you're saying by not being materialistic.
Okay, no. But only 70,000 gold. I don't even think all of our party members even had that much totaled together. You make it sound like it's just water under the bridge.
Well, how much did I leave you off with?
Not a lot.
Not a lot.
Like 2,000, maybe?
We can't have that. What are you at now?
Less than 500. After all the sales.
Oh, wow.
And then a little bit of shares of Marble Fail.
Shares?
A little bit.
Seems you have been eventful.
Would you happen to know the worth of anything as a share? As something as rare as Maribluff Ale?
Well, I know that's probably the most expensive out of the current stocks. I know Waterstone Harbor's been on the up and up. I've been dumping into that one. How much shares did you get?
I personally have 754.
Ooh. Yeah, I will hold on to those.
You definitely don't.
It's 250 shares apiece.
Yeah.
Alright, I have no idea how much I have.
Well, regardless,
I have 62 actually.
Yeah, it's 62 and
I have
63.
62.
Yeah, I would say hold on to them.
Yeah, I thought it was 62 and 63.
I'm saying in total. Or wait, did I say apiece?
What is this even then?
Or fucking there.
Why does it just say Charles and then 745? Or 754? And I just assumed I
Shouldn't just go
misspelled it.
along with it. I'm sorry I said anything.
Comes over there as soon as he says,
Yeah. I was like, I'm pretty sure.
Well, I think we can come to an agreement. In the interest of keeping my own son safe, I would like to, if you will, sponsor this party that peruses around with him. That is, if you stage this robbery and steal the scepter for me. I'll rephrase. Not for me, for the Empire.
Did he explain the significance of the scepter?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, he didn't.
I was going to say...
The scepter is the
He just let into
the
how
script itself. They are going to build a statue of Eldath, or a representation of Eldath, who is a god, for the Eldath Accords. This scepter will be placed in the statue's hands with a giant script that goes down and flows in the wind for all to see.
So does the scepter have any value other than just symbolic?
No.
It's not magical in any way that you would know of?
Not that I know of, no.
What would you want us to do with it?
Keep it somewhere safe, somewhere that I don't know of. Throw it away, get rid of it.
Destroy it?
The only important thing is that it just isn't here when we come to inspect our break-in.
Okay. Well, we'd have to talk this over with our other party members.
Absolutely. But please do mention to them that I will
If
happily sponsor myself.
If the robbery does happen, we'll be sure to show interest afterwards.
Absolutely. And as you know, if there's anything to persuade them, please take a little token of appreciation for keeping my son safe. You can see Russell open some drawers. I think it's over here. It is. There you are. Lays down a hefty pouch of coins.
Okay, do I know that? I won't ask. I'll just be like,
Yeah, please take it. That's an appreciation.
I'll grab it.
Not to persuade you into
fucking
doing this
bribe.
for me. It is not a bribe, but there you are. There's 500 for you.
Gold?
Platinum.
okay, I'll take it. But I will. The one thing that I guess I have a question for all this is: you want us to steal the scepter of the Eldeth Accord? In the Gilded Galleries, that's his place.
That's where
You're in
Where you're
there.
at
Right.
now.
So, hypothetically speaking, him being your son, let's say this doesn't work out because, as we know, this isn't a perfect world. Wouldn't it look very compromising that your own son is stealing a very, like sentimental object from these people? How would that look to you if that happens?
Well, I'm not worried about that. Let's just say, from what defenses, if you want to call them that, that I have of the Gilded Gallery being robbed, if I were to, say, send them home for the night, or just not have any, it's not very hard. The buttermen don't really, they aren't very good at their jobs. I have full faith that you will be able to pull this off, even with your hands tied behind your backs. But it's up to you and your party to discuss. As I said, that wasn't a bribe, that was a thank you.
Well, Chad,
He's not looking at me. There you go.
do you have anything else?
So you're of new faith, correct? Or you've taken up the new faith a little bit here?
I don't
know
really
you're
worship a god.
I know you haven't, but I mean, like, is that the values you're kind of holding?
Or are you more
Undecided.
motivated by wherever maybe the wealthier path, let's per se?
I will say this, given that we
Are you a
are
man persuaded by money instead of a...
we are a merchant capital, and I believe that my skill set has heavily aligned and nestled itself within the empire to where my family name can thrive.
Okay. So if I were to perhaps say that I've taken up faith with a god, how would you feel about that?
If you want to be a holy man, that is truly up to you.
Okay.
Have you done so?
I have.
Ah. And is it Hound?
Is Tyr.
Tyr.
Yep. During the fight where I happened to have passed,
Very
Kaladin,
sad.
Kaladin here showed a lot of strength, and that inspired me to seek it out a little bit, and then other things have happened that kind of cemented it in.
The god of law and justice is a very true god to worship.
I hope so.
I am happy for you.
But we'll be seeing you later then?
Hi. If you guys want something, a bite to eat, you can just stop by the post. I'll have a package waiting for you.
Sounds good.
Hi. You can see him pull out a sending stone as he, yes, I'd like to make an order. Yeah. Goodbye.
Can I make a perception check to see if he is saying something other than that order?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. 19.
19, you can hear him as he, no, not the salmon.
Yeah, the crosses will do. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Then I'll head out, take the drink, and set it back down.
Yeah, you can leave. You're still talking on the sending stone as you shut the door behind. You're left in the quiet hallway. You can see there's a statue of knight armor in the corner.
Can we hear him through the door?
It's a pretty heavy door.
Okay. It seems like your father is very motivated by money.
That's what I've been telling you guys.
I
don't
know
think
if
he's a
he
good or bad.
holds particularly the old or new faith to any weight.
I think it's whatever means to get more money.
So you're telling me, Chad, if we steal something from your father's place, he's going to... That's all it takes to sway this vote? If it...
Door opens. Yes, will you two be attending the ball?
Perhaps. We might have other
I'll take
things
that as a yes. I've already made an appointment at Wyvern Taylor's to speak to Brunswick in 2 hours' time. Goodbye!
Wait, one second. Before he shuts the door, would you have... There, he already
Shove your foot in there if you want.
Yeah, I want to...
What?
We have 2 others. Would they also be accommodated?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
awesome. Thank you.
Yes.
Then we'll...
Yeah, unfortunately, I just want to let you know, I don't want to metagame, and from our conversation, we already had a plan, and I did not want to interrupt, so I texted it to you, so it's time-stamped. Because from what we know, that conversation probably wasn't going to go well from what my father said.
Okay. So what do you want to do?
We plan to go steal the dagger right now, being we assumed...
Well, technically, the way that things lined up, they would be like leaving just as you guys are coming out to the statue.
Yeah, because those
these are both taking out like
would have been had
Okay.
relatively at the same time.
Just thought I'd let you know that was a plan if we got there way before them.
Okay.
We were going.
I mean, I'm not necessarily against like splitting up and doing each of our tasks just to get it done quicker, or we can discuss that.
But what were you guys saying in the...
As I'm walking out, I'm just looking. Just kind of taking it all in.
I'm just gonna be like baffled by the whole thing. I didn't just understand your father. I thought he was gonna be very, I don't know, direct or stern. Seems pretty laid back.
Yeah, he's
take a deep breath and be like, ugh.
I mean, you don't make deals all the time.
You're rich. Your family is
No,
rich.
no. I'm not rich. My family's rich.
That's what rich people say.
I'm like, look at this, and I'll pull out the bag of platinum. I'll be like, really? Do I know how much is in here?
500.
You said 500.
500
platinum, which is 5,000 gold.
Fuck you and your platinum, dog.
We'll deal with it later.
Well, I just write it down.
So, we'll walk out and head towards the fountain. Meet up with
I'll stop you though, like as like we get all like to the entrance. I'll be like, you really believe that it's just that black and white for him? I mean, you know him better than all of us, but he seems to. If money's the only motivator here, it doesn't seem evil to me, I guess. But it could be, depending on how he does it.
I don't think he would be evil for the sake of being evil. I think it's strictly just all monetary to him.
But he said you were looking for something, and you said he sent you out to squash some rumors.
Yes, there was rumors that were rooting our name, and he wanted them to be done. He never said anything about... Am I right on that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he never said anything about an item. That does have me...
That's the only thing that makes me seem like he slipped up on something that...
I agree with you there.
He gave us information, assuming maybe just got it mixed up. That seems a pretty substantial...
But, if we're playing devil's advocate here, he also is a collector. So if he heard any sort of rumor of like a rare,
remembering all the items and everything, and I'll just
So like if he heard of a rare item that's sought after, he's gonna think he could sell it. So it might not, just because he might not know what these mean, and just strictly he could sell it to like, even if it was why can't I think of the guy's name? Is it Pengrove? Who's the top guy on the console?
Giovanni.
Giovanni. Even if it was to sell it to Giovanni, I don't think he would have done it for power reasons. I think it's just straight up. Just straight up monetary.
That's what I mean. I can't figure
It's
out.
so-
It's just the money, or
But I think we should meet up with our group and discuss both of our conversations together.
I agree.
Probably not in the center by the fountain. But we should, obviously that's where we're meeting up.
All right.
But you do have food waiting for you at the post.
Which is the entrance, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Okay. I heard there was food for us?
Oh, it's at like the entrance of the Halcyon Plaza.
Oh, okay. So, walk up to the...
In the lobby. Are there's food for us?
Well, I didn't know if there was like
Anybody?
at the entrance there's like, you
Get
know,
a
like
cheese tray around here.
like sometimes when you go someplace there's like a person to write down names and stuff like that, so I didn't know if you would just like have food.
But yeah, you can join up back in
Your
the
father is nothing like a
white marble
He's
plaza.
not like anything I thought he was.
The statue, which seems to be holding somewhat of a decanter that has water flowing out into this pool. And you both walk out pretty much at the same time.
Just to be clear, my father was nothing what I thought he was going to be.
No,
Me and Shade
that
went
was a
into a
left.
whole thing when we were making my character about how my character's family are always there for him, but he feels like a failure, so that's why he doesn't go back. And fuck, that was a 180 to what we talked about. Fucking that guy was giving me dagger after dagger.
No, that's like pretty on point.
No.
All right, yeah, I'll agree. I'll walk back to the.
I liked it though.
It was both interesting. Meet up. I'm assuming do we see them at the fountain or do we get there first or
You guys pretty much at the same time could see each other.
like, oh,
Yeah, he's happy. He's happy, and I'm just like,
I'm more just confused given like the way I thought I left. I thought it would have been less of a warm welcome,
well,
which was the exact
I'll walk up
opposite
and see
of
you
what
guys
happened.
and be like, well, it looks like you guys seem to be doing well.
Yeah, you guys lived.
Yeah.
So
Ace will blankly stare at you.
he gave us a bunch of money.
Us.
Yeah, not you.
He did say this is for
It was
protecting my son.
literally.
He did.
He's like, well,
Not
here's
that I
for
was there or
traveling
anything.
with my son. And you put it, and then you're just like,
You took it, you said.
yeah.
But either way. Yeah, I thought that was going to go a lot different. I don't know how you guys' whole conversation went, if it was good or not.
A lot to talk about.
But I think
I don't think we're at the place to talk about
I agree with that. Where would be a good place to have a conversation?
it. In hell.
I mean, you know, a lot of places.
Where it'd be like pretty quiet or something, like the close by.
Maybe a garden off through a corner.
Okay. There's a garden nearby that is
Oh, is it?
pretty doesn't see a whole lot of foot traffic if
Is
we
it
wanted.
the Rose Garden?
I think it might be that one, yeah. I can't remember the flowers there, but
Lead the way.
alright. We'll walk over there. As we're walking,
Yeah,
I'll
you
be like,
can squeeze through a building.
if we decide to go to the ball though, my father's sponsoring the outfits, I guess.
Yes. Seems
He is very expecting of us to show up.
Weavers, Taylor?
Wyverns,
Wyverns. Okay. I'll mention that if we show up 2 hours time to that place, we can be whatever's there. I assume clothes.
But yeah, you can approach this rose garden. You can see a bunch of roses in this garden. Fountain in the middle that flows out almost magically through them. Pretty quiet.
We'll find like a darker spot with like a bench or something.
Which actually, on the it's bordering the most western side of the city, and up over the wall, you can see in the distance the Ttrpg peaks.
Nice.
You can hear the water flowing.
So I'm assuming we find a quieter spot or something where we think we would feel pretty safe to talk. So, what kind
First, can you cast detect magic? Or do you have any way of knowing if anything's around us?
Paladin, you want to take that up? I actually just took that page out of my spellbook for today.
Does divine sense work for what you want?
I have detect magic.
I don't know what would work. I don't know what we're looking for.
Whoa, what are you looking for?
Like a bug or something, maybe?
If we detect magic, anything of any magical essence
that's
will
what I'm
glow,
saying. Maybe not.
which would
detect
probably
magic.
be this entire garden.
That's why I'm not saying something like that. I'm saying something like.
I have divine sense, which can know the location of any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet. That's it. Alright, never mind. We're good talk. No way it goes bad.
If I were to cast detect thoughts, could I listen in for just any thoughts in the area, or does it have to be a particular individual?
Calling all.
I believe it has to be somebody you're focused in on.
Okay, then never mind.
Kaladin's still thinking about that lioness.
Yeah, are they common?
Probably uncommon or rare.
About as common as a dragonborn. You've seen some before.
How hot was this?
It's black. So hot, burnt.
So would you like me to use detect magic? Is that what you're asking of me, Ace?
No.
I don't think we have whatever it is that you're thinking.
Because I don't think...
It was a simple question, seeing if anyone had any means to make sure a conversation would stay private. It seems no one does.
I can do the opposite.
Give me 10 minutes, I'll make a little bubble right here in the middle of the garden.
Is it invisible? Like, can you...
Yeah. Can be if we want it to be.
Are we in a rush?
I'm not in a particular rush at this second.
We'll just start talking. I took that page out too.
I guess...
Fucker!
I only did 11 spells,
The only thing I
man.
have with lightning bolt and fireball.
Maybe
only damage
we're
spells.
confused. I'll look at Ace and be like, maybe we're confusing the situation because of the circumstances that we met going to wherever we went, but I was expecting something completely different, and let's just say you guys seem, a little more serious, but I don't... So excuse me if I'm not taking this, I guess, with much importance. It's just I am kind of thrown... for a loop right
as
now.
far as I know, me and Kaladin are both under the impression that I was correct about my father. And that it seems like all of his motivation is through money.
Could Giovanni not be paying him off?
Perhaps. I don't think it's necessarily like that. I think maybe just Giovanni's ruling has made it easier for him to prosper.
The only thing that I can mention from the conversation, and I will look around and be like, it only throws me back that the only thing he asked is if he found something. Not if he was supposed to squash some rumors. And then when I brought it up, he completely brushed it off. And I don't know why a man who so easily or readily puts everything he has on display would keep just something that seems very minor. But it had something to do with... It was Citadel Structar that wanted that item, right? Or something like that requested him to get it, or...
That's what he said.
What is this? Okay, yep.
It's a sister castle, the stronghold.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know if you made the connection, but I believe...
Probably not.
When you met Elwyn in Foxfield, he told you that's why he was there. Yes, because you guys had that conversation after you found the knife. He was sent there from his mother, Lathandria Nordan, from Citadel Structar. So Joe's character, Elwyn, was the person who was sent there to retrieve the item.
Do we know what item?
And would it be safe to assume that... Right. So that, the only thing... And,
Well, so... Is it our understanding that Citadel Structure is good?
That's our understanding.
So if they were trying to find the knife, then it could be that...
they are the same people who are trying to snuff out all of this hearsay of all of this. We're also blocking out Basinport to prevent maybe even more stories of that coming in. Maybe not so much the army, but looking for something that holds such a significance also to this. It seems it definitely is. There's a huge why there, I guess.
Well, you're also part of the Viberous Confederate.
Right, because
which
they
is
are
sister castles.
sister castles.
So if my father was hoping to find this item, and he's referencing them, I'm almost thinking that he was just trying to snipe it for money. Rather than understanding the magical or importance of the item.
And then I'll just, yeah, and then I'll turn to Ace and Benedict. I'll be like, he quite literally wants us to just go here at night and steal an item for him to then try. He says he can persuade the council to overthrow the
Eldath Accords.
Eldath Accords.
The Eldath Accords basically are, again, what?
They are, from what I understand,
It's like the new
will help
faith.
wean out the monarch minority.
No. No chance in hell.
So his
Right? There's no... That's not what that is, right?
I don't know. Who's telling you the Eldath Accord stuff?
I thought it was the Crystal Knights.
Yep, the Crystal Crusaders and then Heralding.
And to my understanding, it's basically would give Giovanni more power and not do wars.
Yeah, this was the conversation with. We got led into a basement by Damon Tristram.
Where you asked to take your pants off.
He personally requested us to be at that meeting and talked about the Crystal Crusaders, and then I just have Eldath Accord will help wean out the monarch minority.
Then that's good. Why would we want to stop it?
so confused.
We want to wean out the monarch minority.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's. Is that right?
No, it's whatever you remember.
Dog, it's been a month. I wasn't there, so I didn't take notes.
True, so you wouldn't know their side either.
The Ace departs me someone in the city. Very
That's like
stout building.
Very stout building.
After using a code word, we got led into the basement room where Dave and Tristram, aka Pengrove, that's what I have. He personally requested us to be at the meeting. And then all I have is the Crystal Crusaders, and then quote-unquote Eldath Accords will help wean out the monarch minority.
So it's good. So why would we do that?
I don't know, I guess we wouldn't. What? Yeah,
I don't know, I believe my father has good intentions.
But he's telling us to not wean out the monarch minority.
But
he
that would
also
give
said
him
the butter.
also more control on the council, he was saying. And it would put the power into the people rather than... It would show that the people are not happy with the
Can I
changes.
do a history check on the Eldath Accords?
Sure.
Fuck me!
What was it?
What do you think?
That one night's
Can I see if I know anything about these so-called accords?
Yeah.
Come on, that one.
17.
17. You haven't heard anything about these from Gemjo. Just the stuff that you've
Sorry,
learned
pal.
from being in town the past day or so.
What do you learn from being in town, Benedict?
As much as you know. Nothing.
Sir, thought about how much rocks taste.
Given you hit rocks in a bit, you need to get back on that.
Yeah.
So the conflict
my
we're
dog.
having is if we do what we were
If we said we might do to
I
help.
think this is the first time we've actually ran into where it's very important to have a note taker. in the group.
Wasn't Ben the note taker?
I
wasn't there. I was with my sister.
or at least recalling what happened. Or what was said.
That's true. You were with your sister during
And we were having this conversation when I was piss-ass tired last time.
Should have got some sleep.
Because it's whatever your characters remember. Or whatever you guys remember.
Yeah, I don't have any notes.
Is this posted
Crystal
online yet?
Crusaders, quickly growing tyrannical, crystal etch logo.
Right.
But they're
Outlaw,
tyrannical.
outlaw growing tyrannical.
I say we
And then
need-
that's why we, like the Eldath Cord, from my understanding, is good because it wants to wean out the
I say we just need to ask around town, find a certain spot, a barkeep, pay some good tips, and see what we can find out. I don't think we should go headlong into anything.
Well, what also did you guys hear?
I think we need to skedaddle out of town. I'd like to get to a little more private of a place. I know we're in a quiet place, but from what my father said, I'm worried there are prying eyes and ears everywhere. So I'd like to get somewhere where we have a little more confidence before I say why we need to leave. And we also need to do a task that involves something much like what you're talking about.
Was the task
task
something that we
is-
already know about?
The task is something we already know about, and
Okay.
that is what my father asked us to do. I think that is enough said for
I
the time
agree with
being.
that task.
So I believe our couple tasks right now is A, find out more information about these Eldath Accords.
I
B,
will say, if we helped my father, he said there would be substantial compensation.
Unfortunately, Chad,
And-
if we're doing the wrong thing,
Is it though?
from
don't
what
really know what's going
Caladan
on.
remembers,
It's a double-edged sword, is what I'm trying to say.
yeah, would we rather do the right thing or get our pockets deep?
But do we even know if it is the right thing?
From whatever anyone
don't
remembers
do
here,
it with-
unless you remember something differently, all we know what it is the wrong thing to do. Do you remember something differently, or are you just looking to
Well,
line your pockets like
like-
your father?
I'm not looking to line my pockets. I'm hoping to help my father.
If it's a wrong thing, do you still want to help?
No, but I don't know if it is.
From the only information that we have is that it's the wrong thing.
No, but again, I think unless I'm misunderstanding. So, like, if we help them, sure, the Eldath Accord takes a hit, but the overall picture of the thing is that it's going to be a majority 3, or the vote won't go through, so the majority, Damon, or what's his name?
It gets-
There's so many goddamn names
So it's
here.
from-
Giovanni Pengrove won't get the power that he would get if we don't do it, and he can't persuade the people based off of what we would cause by stealing that symbol of the Eldath Accord. So it's like, which one is the greater evil here?
So essentially, he's like, do we want more power on the council, or do we want less people running around the streets?
I think we need to get more information
I agree
before
with
we
that.
can even decide if those are our two options.
But you know what would be a great place to probably get information? That ball. There's gonna be a lot of higher up powers there. Maybe overhear a conversation here and there. Put pieces together and come up with a plan.
The other said
The ball is tonight, right?
Yes.
Just
Yeah,
last night
it
we were
is,
saying
yeah.
it's tomorrow, so then it'd be tonight.
Today, yeah.
I think I might have said the next night.
Well, I mean,
As of last week,
it could
was
be whatever
tomorrow,
you
which
want
is
it to
today.
be.
If it's tomorrow, that's fine, but
Does that make sense to you, though? Like how I described it?
Eldath Accords?
I'd have
No,
to check
how
the VOD.
making this
I'm not sure if
decision,
it's tonight or
regardless
the
of-
next night.
Which side is technically good or bad? Like, one outweighs the other, you know? So, like, even if we have to steal that thing, which makes this
all I'm
entity that's
saying
supposed
is-
to take the monarch
All I'm
minority down.
saying is those two options might not be true. You know what I mean? Right
Yeah.
now, sure, those are our two options, but those might not be our actual options. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we know enough.
I agree with that. But
I
like,
know-
but
I
also
know.
like what you said earlier, we don't have a lot of time.
Yeah. And so your father was saying we need to leave here?
I'm gonna pull out just the gem. If you look at this, I think you know what this came from.
What happened there?
My father seems aware of this, and the Amber Isles is somewhere we can get much more information about this. Being part of the Ivory Agathis, Caladan, I'm sure you know the importance of that.
So your father did mention something?
It's the only fucking reason he talked to me, not because I was his fucking son.
Well, I guess that's good nonetheless.
So, well, I mean,
So
you
that-
could have had it my way where he was real polite to you because you're his son, but then, like, kind of is, you know, like, which way is which?
Yeah, so that's what I mean. When we both show up, it's two whole different contexts, you know what I mean? So, like, you guys are probably distraught, but me, I'm more like, okay, yeah, a guy likes money, you know? It's probably that black and white. But the only thing I could pick apart is the first...
item.
Yeah.
Well,
But
I
it could be
say
significant, you know.
we head out.
How much time does it take to get to the Broken Boar?
15-minute walk.
What if we go back to our rooms and we really hash out an actual plan where we don't have to really be secretive of...
Okay. Is there any difference from where
no,
we are
there's
now?
not, but...
To the
Base
room?
thinks there is. The only reason I say it is my father said he's been watching us the entire time we were in town. I haven't seen shit once.
Has he heard you also, or just watched?
Not necessarily.
So we're
What?
just a couple of guys just hanging out in a rose garden. Nothing weird about that.
I could care less. If you guys want to talk here, you can talk here.
No. If you don't feel safe talking here, where would you feel safe, Ace?
I don't know if there's a place in this city I do, so I really don't care. We can talk here and hash out a plan if that's what you want.
Could we all... So, you trust your father, I'm assuming, right?
I trust the bastard.
Was his place safe to talk?
His place was safe to talk, but trust me, we won't get a welcome coming back there, I doubt.
Okay. Well, are we going to be going to this ball? Because while we sit here and think, we could go and get tailored.
I think that's unfortunately a best option. A, we could learn some information about the Eldath Accords, and B, that task that we already knew about, that Sivius also talked about, is in someone's certain private quarters, and if we happen to be there and he happens to be there, possibly someone
Could dip out.
could dip out mid-party. Talking about the sneakiest one, obviously Caladan.
I mean, if we're talking sneaky, technically it's you, obviously, but then, like, me would be a close second.
But I say we go get tailored, we get more information, and we see if option B plan works, and possibly if we get
I
more
think regardless,
information...
we need to go through with your guys' plan. I don't think that's really up for debate right now.
I mean,
I think it's what my father wants. That's
and once we get more information, if that works, well, heck, we got plans for tonight. And I'd say probably leave in the morning if this is a perfect world, but we shall see, shouldn't we?
I just hope there isn't anybody there who really doesn't want us to be a part of this ball. Because we've only talked about people who seems to be on our side of the coin. Now there's a lot of other, seems like really corrupt people
That's concern.
that are doing everything in their power to snuff people like us out.
But here's the
that
thing.
have.
That's also possibly a good thing. Like anything else, there's the good with the bad. If they hate us, that means they're against us, which means they're going to be talking about stuff that they don't want other people to know about, so we could get that information.
It's confusing being the one that is most suspect is the one who invited us to this ball. So
I just like let out a chuckle because it's all just like...
I say we can put on our clothes. We can go, but we must be ready. I would not skimp out on being ready. I think it's only fair that a shepherd per se would choose to wear his armor over wearing a tux, if you know what I mean.
Don't know if that's gonna be able to get in.
Well,
I'm assuming I've been to like balls before.
It is normal for shepherds to wear their armor.
All right.
Because it's like, it's also.
Although he doesn't have
It's
his
kind of
crest.
tattered.
He's like a
Maybe
holy
you should
Templar.
ask for a little loan to get some new sick armor. You know.
Do we
maybe
know
like 50
anyone that
grand
can
worth
cast some
or something?
prestidigitation on this fucker?
That doesn't do that.
Cleans it up, doesn't it?
It'd clean it up, but it doesn't make.
It doesn't undent it, but it cleans it the fuck up.
No, it has mending, which he has access to, I believe.
Mending?
Or it might just be clerics. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think that's clear.
I don't think I've seen it under, at least not my level.
Yeah, I think you might have access to mending.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I
To
think
Bard?
Yeah.
I might. I don't have it, but I might have access to it. And I can't just like swap out spells at night. Like, here, let me forget this song and then start remember a new one. Like, either I know it or I don't type of
Just waiting
situation.
for the day shot, and Johnny shows up with like a little box, like amplifier, little guitar.
But where do you guys wish to go?
It's probably the Wyvern Tailor.
Well, I guess once we get there, we can see maybe if they can do something about the armor. Otherwise, I'm definitely going to wear my armor.
Well,
So.
you could always get some sort of formal covering for it that wouldn't impede the actual function of the armor.
Oh, I guess I never thought about that. Oh, like dig into the idea. Yeah, maybe
You could have like a cape or something, you know?
Like a Holy Crusaders tabard that
That's a
you
good
get
idea.
in
Yeah.
ICC 25-man.
Still show your faith and strength, but still be protected.
But yeah, you guys want to make your way out of the Rose Garden, out of the plaza. Or no, the Wyvern Tailor's is in the plaza.
Oh, shit.
But you want to go straight there?
Well, my father did get us food. I don't know if you guys want to eat first. Might affect the fit a little bit, but that might be a good thing.
Your
I don't
appointment's in about an hour.
He also didn't say we had to do it tonight, though, right?
No, we have
I
an
mean,
appointment.
Like, let's say if we were to steal that scepter, it didn't.
You have to do
be
it before the Accords,
Right.
Which is...
nobody's told you.
Right.
That's fair.
So, like, as of right now, yeah, I'm fine with going to the ball for sure because I don't know.
Well, we have an hour till we can get fitted, so what do we want to do for an hour?
Good eat. Got free food.
Crawfish.
I heard crawfish.
We can go eat, and if anything comes up, anything comes
You
up.
know, with my father has all this money, but he skimped out. I heard him saying not the salmon, but you know, I guess crawfish will do.
Yeah. You leave the Rose Garden, and as you enter the plaza, you can see the entire Halcyon Plaza about with the people walking around in ordained clothing, and you can see the entire town hall in front of you. The statue, the stairs that lean up, and above the huge two doorways, you can see the huge circular window with almost a flower type a pattern in the glass. And you can see a figure standing in that glass. You can see a male drow with light blueberry skin, Tony Stark-like facial hair, sharp black eyebrows, and piercing blue eyes. You can see he's sporting a black trench coat with silver filigree about, with his hands in his pockets, very much perked up, looking at you guys like ants down below over the bridge of his nose. And that's where we're going to end tonight's episode.
I'd like to pickpocket him.
God, you don't learn how to jump.
But yeah, like I've said before, stick around. We got, well, don't stick around because it's the end. But if you would like to see our reactions afterwards, we have the behind the scenes on our Patreon, so you can go over there and check that out, as well as all of our VODs we will have on YouTube and on Patreon as well. So if you want to get our reactions after this session for the next 15 minutes, go check that out. Thanks so much for watching. Nat One Nights, baby.